73 degrees and sunny in the Queen City of Cincinnati. Time for Game 3 of the series between the Chicago Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. Welcome to Cubs baseball. Thank you for joining us, along with former big league pitcher Jim Deshaies. It's Pat Hughes reporting. It's been an exciting series, each team with a win, but the Cubs bullpen, Jim, came up huge yesterday.
Yeah, indeed they did. They've been really good this weekend. Shambi, let's get Shambi out. Bring in Hughes. We're going to the bullpen. Here's what the Cubs relievers have done in this series. Friday, 4 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 10 punch-outs, no walks, steals and maples, featuring prominently in that. Steal and maples, excuse me. So nice to see those young guys really step it up. And then yesterday, a quintet of relievers carried the load, going 5 innings allowed, just 2 hits, no runs, 8 punch-outs. Again, no walks. The walk has been a big issue for the Cubs bullpen this year, but lately much, much better in that regard.
The bullpen was strong. Nico Horner was the offensive star, drove in the winning run. And for more on Nico, here is Taylor McGregor.
Pat, it seems like every single day somebody's asking David Ross about Nico Horner's performance, and he's running out of ways to describe him. Last night he just said, look, simply put, he is a really good baseball player. He's constantly working, trying to get better, studying the opposing pitchers. We've talked about some of the things that he did this offseason to improve. Well, he also said it comes to refining his pregame prep, how he plans to attack that pitcher that day, and constantly soaking up information, and whatever he is doing is working. 3 for 3 with a walk yesterday, driving in a run, and he's certainly making the Cubs think about what's going to happen when Jock Peterson comes back from the IL, guys.
Very good, Taylor. Thanks very much. We'll be back to take a look at the matchup today here in Cincinnati right after this. Trevor Williams going for the Cubs. Tyler Mahle on the mound for the Reds. Jim, how do you see the matchup?
Well, tail of the tape will show us 2 guys who've made 5 starts each, both with 500 records. Tyler Mahle, a lot of people thought he was a breakout candidate coming into this year, and indeed, they were right. He's been outstanding. A 1.75 ERA. The league hitting just 1.59 against them. Trevor Williams will have his hands full here today, going up against the Cincinnati team that leads Major League Baseball in runs per game. Trevor's been very competitive every start, save 1.
Each team with a win in the series. The third and decisive ball game coming up right after this. Dealer who invites you to test drive an award-winning Hyundai car or SUV today. Find a dealer nearest you at buyhyundai.com. By Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Advocate Healthcare. Step up to the plate and take your shot. And by Wintrust, proud legacy partner of the Chicago Cubs and exclusive home of Cubs Checking. Emotions ran high at the end of yesterday's game. Things got a little testy. For more on that, here's Taylor McGregor.
Thanks, Pat. Yeah, Javi Baez saying post-game he was just upset in the way that Amir Garrett came off the mound and celebrated towards the Cubs dugout after he struck out Anthony Rizzo. He feels like that is very disrespectful. And here's what David Ross had to say post-game about that mix-up, and as well as Javi's reaction.
To be disrespected by another player on the field kind of challenges your manhood. It's a man's game, and I think those are things that I wouldn't have stood for as a player. That's for sure. I would have been first one in line for that. I can't do that anymore. So I don't fault any of our guys. That's not the way that I think baseball is intended to go. But I think that that's his style. I don't agree with it. I think it's garbage. But he's not on my team.
Javi Baez went on to say, look, I've hit 3 homers off this guy, and I've never once reacted towards him or towards the Reds dugout. They just want him to celebrate with his team and not direct it towards the Cubs, guys.
Yeah, here we go again, right? The unwritten rules of baseball, what's allowed, what's not allowed. But to me, Amir Garrett crossed the line yesterday. That was kind of Bush League, but it's better than somebody throwing a fastball in somebody's head, I guess. So I don't anticipate any issues here today. But maybe the next time Amir Garrett pitches, if somebody takes him deep, they'll moonwalk around the bases.
Time to take a look at the lineups as the Reds have taken the field defensively. Javier Baez batting third in the Cubs order. You see Happ, Bryant, and Baez. Jim pointed out earlier that Mahle has been very, very tough on left-handed batters this season.
Yeah, Tyler Mahle, the 26-year-old right-hander for the Reds. And he is brought to you by Budweiser. And he's going to come at you with this combination of pitches, a four-seamer, a slider, and a splitter. That fastball will touch 97, sit pretty comfortably at 95. He's really rounding into a top-flight starting pitcher.
And the Reds on the field with the leather and back of Tyler Mahle.
Yeah, it is brought to you by Sloan. Naquin gets center today. Castellanos and Winker on either side of him. Winker didn't play yesterday. Had a little bit of a back issue. Moustakas, Suarez, Senzel, Votto, and Tucker Barnhart behind the plate. He's a good one. 2 Gold Gloves for Barnhart. Votto has one himself.
Let's see if the Cubs can jump on the board right away in the first inning. Ian Happ all set to lead off the game. Mahle, a 27-year-old, born in Newport Beach, California. His ERA a glittering 1.75 this season.
Yeah, he just shy of enough innings to be listed among the league leaders. But if he had enough, he'd be 5th in the league with that 1.75 ERA.
Happ ready to lead things off, and here we go on this Sunday afternoon. First pitch on the way. Happ drives one in the air toward right field. That is deep in the corner. That's going to be one hop, short hop in the wall. Playing it as Castellanos. It's a leadoff double for Ian Happ. That's the first extra base hit by a left-handed batter all season against Tyler Mahle.
Yeah, and it's first hit for Happ against Tyler Mahle. He had been 0 for 12 coming into this one. It looks like a little splitter, a straight changeup split finger pitch to start the ball game, and Happ all over it. Ian had a solid base hit yesterday, looking to break out of this funk. A very good start here this afternoon.
Happ with 10 career homers in this park has always hit well in Cincinnati. Leadoff double. Let's see if that leads to bigger and better things. Chris Bryant coming up. Bryant had that epic 5-for-5 game back in 2016 in this park. 3 homers and 2 doubles. He pulls the ground ball. That's fair. Bouncing down into the left field corner. A run will score. Bryant is going to end up with at least a double as the throw comes in from Winker. After 2 pitches, the Cubs lead 1-0.
How about that for an ambush? 2 pitches in, double, toil and trouble for Mahle. And again, it's an off-speed pitch, and it floats up there belt high for Chris Bryant. Right down the third base line. Sam Holbrook, the third base umpire, getting a good look at it, says fair ball.
Bryant with a 2-bagger. That's his 20th RBI. He is now tied with Javier Baez for the team lead. And let's see if Baez can keep things going. Baez hitting .236. Swings and misses. Pretty good fastball. Baez 2 for 8 in this series. Half a dozen home runs. And as we said, he's driven in 20. Cubs have already given their starter, Trevor Williams, a little bit of a cushion to lean on. Here's a pitch low and outside.
Yeah, I wonder if Mahle didn't have a good warm-up. That fastball to Javi, he beat him with it, but it was 92, and he's capable of 97, and he's been averaging 95. So he might not be up to speed just yet.
1-1. Baez had a good swing, fouls it back. For Ian Happ, he scores the game's first run. That's the first time he's had a hit on the first pitch in the at-bat all season long.
Yeah, well, you know, he's taken the leadoff role to heart in terms of wanting to see a lot of pitches, being patient. And I think David Ross has tried to nudge him in the direction of go ahead, let it fly, be aggressive. If nothing else, you want to just change the scouting report a little bit. Don't let the opposing team think they can just pour one in there early and get the jump on you.
2-2. There's always something dynamic, JD, about a leadoff batter who has extra base hit potential right away to knock a double or a home run. to get the game started.
Yeah, I like having that slugging potential in the top spot in the batting order. Puts a lot of pressure on the opposing starter.
The 2-2. Baez chases a breaking ball, and that's out number 1.
Time for our keys to the game, and they're brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. Wink, wink, play once more. Yesterday was wink, wink, play no more, but Jesse Winker's back in there. Breaking good, not breaking bad. That's Trevor Williams with that slider curveball combination. That's really been a big key for him. And nothing for Joey today. Not something for Joey. Nothing for Joey Votto. Has very good numbers against Trevor Williams.
Here's Anthony Rizzo stepping in. Cubs lead 1-0. Back-to-back doubles by Ian Happ and Chris Bryant. Rizzo without a hit in this series, 0 for 7. And Anthony will take a strike. He normally does some good work in this ballpark. 21 career home runs at the Great American Ballpark for Anthony. But he, like a lot of left-handed batters, has had a tough time against Tyler Mahle. Just 3 for 18 lifetime. The 0-1. Rizzo hits a sharp ground ball, gloved by Votto, unassisted play for out number 2. On the play, Bryant goes to third. Cubs lead 1-0. Let's see if Matt Duffy can drive in a second run in this first inning. Duffy has never faced Tyler Mahle. Matt 1 for 4 in this series, hitting .275.
5 out of 15 on the road trip for Duffy. Plus 5 walks and a pitching performance. Should be a nice win to get here today after dropping 3 out of 4 in Atlanta. Win this series before heading home to face the Dodgers.
Dodgers stumbling in Milwaukee. They've lost 3 consecutive ball games to the Brewers. The Brewers 17-10. You realize the Giants now are in first place in the National League West, ahead of both L.A. and San Diego.
Yeah, Giants have been a good story this year.
Duffy takes outside, the count even. That's right, the Dodgers, though, they'll be at Wrigley the next 3 nights. Kyle Hendricks and Walker Buehler tomorrow night. Adbert Alzolay against Clayton Kershaw Tuesday night. Jake Arrieta and Trevor Bauer Wednesday evening.
Nope. Shane Livensparger, the home plate umpire. I think he called that a called strike. Tucker Barnhart is really good at stealing pitches for his pitcher. Just keep an eye on Mahle's velocities here today. Again, he's sitting right at 92.
And the 1-2 fastball is a little bit high to Duffy.
Let that one eat. 94 up. His velocity has climbed each of the last couple of years. So has the spin rate. .359 ERA, 2-2 record.
And Duffy is out on strikes. The Cubs settle for the 1 on the back-to-back doubles by Happ and Bryant, but they have the lead as we go to the bottom of the first. Mark on a beautiful spring day. The Reds lineup is brought to you by Ford. Winker back in the lineup. JD mentioned he missed with mild back spasms yesterday. They've got some pop up and down the order, though. They've been scoring a lot of runs in their home park this season. Not so much yesterday. The first 2 batters of yesterday's game scored, and the Reds did not score the rest of the day.
Starting pitcher for the Cubs this afternoon, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. It's veteran right-hander Trevor Williams. Peek at his pitch usage: 4-seamer, slider, sinker, curve, and change. And you see he uses a nice balanced mix of those secondary pitches, and the curveball slider in combination has been a very good weapon for Williams. Does a lot of work down at the bottom of the zone.
Winker takes a little bit high. Williams has done good work against the Reds in his career. 11 starts, a 6-3 record with an ERA of 3.5.
Winker's really good down. He's good middle in. They're trying to work top of the zone there, but misfiring. This guy has just been crushing right-handed pitching. And understand, you talked about, liking to have that kind of pop at the top of the batting order. Well, that's exactly what the Reds have in Jesse Winker. 370 batting average, 679 slug with 6 long balls already.
Taking a strike. He is in fact leading the National League in hitting at 370.
Slugging percentage versus right-handed pitching bested only by Mike Trout.
Williams walks the leadoff man. Winker is aboard. Here comes Nick Castellanos.
All right, the Cubs defensively, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Through it all, out in the pasture, left, center, right, it's Bryant, Happ, Hayward. Around the horn, Duffy, Baez, Horner, and Rizzo. That's a good group. Cubs have been outstanding defensively. Tony Walters is solid behind the plate as well. He's very nimble back there, very athletic.
Castellanos hitting .300 for the season. The former Cub with 7 home runs. He did bounce out for the game's final out yesterday, leaving the tying run at third and the potential winning run at first. Castellanos, an aggressive guy, likes to swing at that first pitch.
Yeah, he's not going to walk very often. Likes to swing it. He's really good going to right center.
And the 0-1 from Trevor Williams. Perfect pitch, knee high outside corner. What's on your mind for 0-2?
Well, just the fact that he could execute that pitch and with the way he goes about it, I would think maybe a little slider, a breaking ball, kind of on that same plane, just kind of throw a little strike the ball slider. They're going to throw a curveball. No, he's going to throw a fastball. He's going back out there. Got away with one. Caught a little too much of the plate there on 0-2.
Williams just had his 29th birthday back on April 25. Born and raised in San Diego.
And it's been a nice bounce back year for Trevor Williams. Really struggled last year, gave up a ton of home runs, had a 6 and change ERA.
Now the 0-2. Great save by the catcher Walters. That ball almost was a wild one.
It's nice to be able to throw that chase breaking ball and trust your catcher to go out there and knock it down. There's the comp for Trevor Williams last year, a 618. A lot of slugging. This year he's been able to nullify that to a great degree, and the strikeouts are way up for him.
A long set by Trevor, and the 1-2 to Castellanos just missed. Trevor lost his last outing in Atlanta, didn't pitch badly, gave up 2 earned runs in 5 innings, but the Cubs did not score in a 5-0 shutout loss. He's really only had 1 rough outing, and that was against his former mates, the Pirates, back on April 11. That's the only game he's given up more than 2 earned runs. Bouncer toward the middle, past a diving Baez, base hit. Winker will stop at second, and the first 2 Reds reach against Trevor Williams.
Kind of similar to the way the ball game started in the top of the first. Although the Cubs went double-double, the Reds go walk single here to pose an early threat for Trevor Williams. Did a lot of work away, tried to get that ball in on him. It had good sinking action, but was out over the plate. Castellanos able to hit it pretty sharply and past a diving Baez. I think coming off the back spasms, Winker is going to be station to station in terms of his base running approach.
And it brings up Joey Votto. Votto a quiet 0 for 3 yesterday. Had 2 doubles and a homer on Friday night. Takes inside.
He obviously sees Williams well. 12 out of 31. That's a 387 batting average.
I know noticed that, JD, but he's never homered against Trevor and only driven in 1 run. So a lot of hits, but maybe not all that much damage. Votto, 38 career homers against Cubs pitching. And there's a strike 1-1. The only guy with more active player would be Albert Pujols. 57 home runs against Cubs pitching.
Albert's probably number 1 on that list for every team in the National League Central.
Be a good bet.
Votto hit career home run number 300 on Friday night.
Lashes one into right center. It's a base hit. This will tie the game. Happ gets it back in as Winker scores. Castellanos goes to third. And it's tied. Still nobody out. Bottom of the first. 1-1 game.
Yeah, well, you know, on our keys, I said nothing for Joey. You know, if the opportunity had presented itself to pitch around him, you'd be very careful. But first and second, nobody out. You got to try to get him out. And he stays on this off-speed pitch from Williams. Delivers a solid line drive single. This is an offense that can ambush you. As I mentioned, they're first in Major League Baseball in runs per game. The last time the Reds finished April first in Major League Baseball in runs per game, the last 2 times they've done that, they've won the World Series. 1976 and 1990.
Mike Moustakas will take a strike.
Does that mean they're going to win the World Series this year? Probably not.
The Reds begin the day 2 games below 500. They have lost 9 of their last 12 after a very quick start. I think they got off to about a 7-2 record after 10 days or so. They've cooled off. Cubs keep the infield back. Moustakas bounces one to Duffy, goes to second, turned by Baez. That's going to be a double play as a run scores on the play, and the Reds now lead 2-1. No RBI for Moustakas. Cubs turn a 5-6-3 double play, 2 down.
Yeah, with the shift on, Baez becomes the pivot man on that ground ball to Duffy, and that big arm of his able to complete the double play. A trade you're certainly willing to take early in the ball game. Give up that run to get 2 outs and try to minimize the damage.
So now the bases are empty. 2-1 Cincinnati. Just like yesterday, the first 2 Reds scored runs in the first inning. Here's Eugenio Suarez. Not only did he strike out 4 times yesterday, he has found in his last 6 plate appearances his average at 125.
Yeah, that's kind of what makes this Reds offense even more impressive, that they're doing as much as they are, and they're not getting much of anything out of Suarez. Here are the numbers: first in the league in runs per game, 5th in on base, 1st in slugging, hitting a home run every 23 at bats, 2nd best home run rate.
Suarez does have 4 homers this year. His career high a couple of seasons ago was 49. Williams 1-2 to Suarez. Pop fly, shallow right center. Hayward with a routine play, and that ends the inning. But the Reds score twice, and they lead by a run at the end of 1.
Game with right thigh tightness. He was back out on the field today getting some tests done, various stretching, sprinting, even was throwing. He feels really good, and David Ross went even to say that yes, it might seem like we don't have a backup catcher, but in an emergency situation, if Tony Walters were to get hurt today, he would be able to play. And then this was yesterday. Jock Peterson met the team in Cincinnati on Friday, took batting practice. It went really well. He is now in South Bend with the A-ball team, taking live BP, and he is eligible to come off the IL whenever they see fit, guys.
Tanner, thank you. Jason Hayward has bounced out to third on the very first pitch of the second inning. Moustakas to Votto. Score that one 5-3. 2-1 Reds. Second inning. Here's Nico Horner, who drove in the game winner yesterday. He had some good at-bats against the starter, Luis Castillo.
Yeah, he did.
Too.
Yeah, he competes really well against high-octane stuff. Get on top of that high fastball. That's the first 0-0 pitch that the Cubs haven't offered at today. Come out of that dugout swinging. It came out of the hotel lobby swinging.
Horner at 375. Malley misses outside. Malley making his 9th career start against the Cubs. He is 3-2 lifetime. His ERA 3.23 against the Cubs in his young big league career. Horner drives one toward right. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. Over to pick it up is Castellanos. Horner continues to hit to the other side of the field as he gets a one-out single, Jim.
Yeah, if you look at a spray chart for Nico Horner, you're going to see a lot of balls to the right side, on balls in the air to right field. Every now and then, take that ball inside and pull it down the third base line. Just has that hit tool, the ability to go find the baseball and put the barrel on it. Cubs have been pretty aggressive running on this road trip.
The number 8 hitter, Tony Walters, steps in. Short lead by Horner, held by Votto. Walters looking for his first home run in a Cub uniform. Malley among the league leaders in strikeouts per 9 innings, striking out almost 13 guys for every 9 innings of work.
Yeah, so the Reds obviously they lost Trevor Bauer to free agency, and so you figured their pitching would take a step back. But this guy, as good as he has been, has obviously helped fill Bauer's shoes with Malley and Castillo, who hasn't really been on point so far this year, and Sonny Gray.
Walters lines one down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit. Winker picks it up. Horner hustling to third, and he's going to be safe. Horner with good speed, and he read the play beautifully right in front of him, Jim, and it's going to be a double for Tony Walters.
Yeah, this is outstanding base running by Horner. We'll take a look at the swing first. Walters keeps his nose right on there and slashes this one the other way. We've seen a lot of this from the Cubs lately, using the whole field, smaller in their approach. This is really good aggressive base running by Nico Horner to get to third with just one out. He's not relying on his coach there. The play's in front of him. The ball's fairly deep in left, but you rarely see a guy go first to third on a base hit to left field like that.
Walters credited with a single, goes to second on the throw, and now Trevor Williams can really help himself out. Men at second and third, one down. Back-to-back opposite field hits in the inning by Horner and Walters. Cubs trail by a run.
Cubs used a safety squeeze in a first and third situation with Zach Davies batting yesterday. And in that instance, Horner was the base runner at third as well.
You see the middle infielders are playing back, so if Williams can put the ball in play in the middle of the diamond, the Cubs should get a run.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised with the pitcher hitting that David Bell doesn't have those middle infielders in.
Now it's 1-2 on Trevor Williams. Ian Happ is on deck. It's got a little overcast. It was bright and sunny this morning. Game time temperature 73. Good day for ball. Tyler Malley in the 1-2. Tigers take their lead, 2nd and 3rd. Here comes the 2-2 delivery. Williams stays alive.
I really think in this situation the fastball out of way is probably the easiest pitch for Trevor to get to. I think, if you're Malley, you got to be thinking punch out here. Just keep this ball out of play. And I would think breaking ball, or if he goes fastball, just try to run it in on his knuckles.
Williams hits a ground ball to Votto. Votto will make the play, and holding, actually on the play, Nico Hoerner got a good jump and comes in to score the tying run, and Walters goes to 3rd on the play. So Williams gets the job done, puts the ball in play, breaks his bat, but as they say, that bat died a hero.
Yeah, it sure did. And again, Votto off the line and back a couple of steps, and there's the parents are in the ballpark again and fired up with Trevor picking up an RBI.
Ball game tied at 2, inning number 2. And with 2 down, here's Happ with a teammate, Walters, on 3rd base.
I just think David Bell must feel like he likes his guys against Trevor Williams today and their ability to generate offense. So his whole mindset here is, let's just protect against the big inning. Go ahead and concede that run if Williams can put it in play.
Happ didn't like that call. He thought it was inside. It is now 0-2. Ian hit the first pitch of the day for a double.
Time for our Geico Making It Look Easy replay. Well, it's fairly easy for Ian Happ when he returns to Cincinnati, where he played his college ball at the U, 3 seasons a Bearcat. And in Great American Ballpark, a 333, 453, 782 slash line, including 10 long ones. I don't know if he likes the chili, but he likes the ballpark.
Well, he has made a lot of pitches in this inning, up to 31 for the game.
We just have a steal of home here.
Tony Walters stealing home for the Chicago Cubs. We are at Wrigley Field. We are working the ball game off of monitors. Walters stealing home, surprising everyone in the ballpark.
Yeah, well, we'll get a look at it here on the replay. Again, with the shift on, that's the old Little League steal of home, right? They throw it back to the pitcher. And Tucker Barnhart had that ball in plenty of time. And it just got a little bit lazy applying the tag. That was an amazing slide by Walters. I don't know if the Reds are going to challenge this. They have challenged this.
It did look like the foot got on home plate before he was tagged. I think Shane Livensparger made the right call.
Yeah, that was just an amazing play by Tony Walters. It reminded me of the old shtick the Globetrotters used to do when they would pretend to be playing baseball. And right about then, they would call a timeout. Yeah. Walters stopped in his tracks as if he was going to concede. Okay, you got me. And then down he goes. The foot was between the legs of Barnhart. Whether it was on the plate or hovering above the plate, I guess, is the question. And that's what they'll be looking at.
Sometimes on a play like that, there's dust flying, JD, and that makes it very difficult not only to call the play live, but even on a replay to determine if the foot was on the plate. Let's take a look. Is his right heel? Did his right heel scrape the plate? You got some dirt there. I can't tell.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. And of course, the call on the field was safe. So unless they get a definitive look back in New York, he's going to be safe. They'll get multiple angles, and they'll spend some time breaking that one down. Obviously, when a run or no run is a huge call, so understandable that they would take a little more time looking at this one.
There's no question that his foot was in the plate area before being tagged, right?
I agree. Yeah, I think he was. He either was on or above the plate ahead of the tag, and whether he made contact or not is the question.
The umpires communicating with New York City Video Central. They've got all kinds of replays, and they're running it back and playing it again. Let's see what the call is. Out at the plate.
He must have determined that the foot was above the plate.
Walters out on his attempted steal of home. Cubs get a run, tie the game. We go to the bottom of the second, 2-2.
2-2 ball game. Tickets are available for games at Wrigley Field through June 2nd, especially for games against the Washington Nationals. Visit Cubs.com/tickets and get yours now.
Tyler Naquin leads it off for the Reds in the bottom of the second inning. Trevor Williams misses high for a ball. Naquin 2 for 6 in this series. Made the Reds as a non-roster invitee in spring training.
Yeah, and he's taking full advantage of his opportunity, really doing a lot of damage. He's changed his approach a little bit, pulling the ball more, hitting it in the air with authority.
He was leading the league in RBIs after the first 10 days or so. He's driven in 19, 6 home runs. Nick Senzel to follow, and then Tucker Barnhart. Getting back to the scoring, I suppose Walters, when he tried to steal home, is out on a simple 1-2.
Yeah. 1-2 caught stealing. That's the old Little League play, right? Come off the base, and then you wait for the throw from the catcher and sprint home.
That's toward the middle, but right there is Baez to make the play and throw him out. 1 down. Tie game, second inning. It brings up Nick Senzel. Senzel 1 hit and 8 at-bats in this series. His average, as you can see, .239 with a homer, and he's driven in 5. He's played both center field and now second base in this series.
Expect a whole lot of outfield from Senzel, but Jonathan India was on the IL for a while. Their fine rookie who just was reactivated today. So going forward, India will probably be in at second base and Senzel back in the outfield. Although the performance of Tyler Naquin may jumble that up a little bit too. David Bell's got some options. This kid was the number 2 pick in the draft back in 2016.
He was hitting leadoff for the first year or two that he was in the big leagues. Now he's down in the number 7 spot. Senzel takes low and outside. 2-2. Williams has never lost a game here. Trevor 2-0 at the Great American Ballpark, a 3.7 ERA. It's his 4th career start in this yard. This can be a tough place to pitch when it gets in the middle of the summer. Ball really carries well here, especially in that area in right and right center where it's only 370 to the alley.
Yeah, Cincinnati's, the old ballpark was a great place to hit. Riverfront, renamed Synergy, and this ballpark built just a few yards away from the old one. Hard by the Ohio River.
Mm-hmm. The 3-2. Williams has walked Senzel with 1 away here in the second inning. Ball game tied at 2. Tucker Barnhart coming up.
Bell's got nice balance in his lineup. 5 left-handed bats in there today. Barnhart in the 8 hole hitting .298, so it's a deep lineup. 385 on base, slugging close to 500. Senzel, maybe the fastest guy on the field today, so you got to keep an eye on him.
Barnhart had a single against Craig Kimbrell in the 9th inning as a pinch hitter yesterday. Some real 9th inning drama in each game of the series so far. Going back to Friday night, you might remember the Cubs rallied and scored twice, had the bases loaded when the ball game ended 8-6. And yesterday the Reds put men at first and third with nobody out, and the Cubs clinging to a 3-2 lead. Kimbrell struck out 2 and then retired Castellanos on a grounder to end. There is a strike. Kimbrell was very cool looking in that inning, though.
Yeah, I'm betting he wasn't cool underneath the surface, but he was cool looking. He kept his composure and pitched his way out of that jam. That was very impressive.
353 career saves. Think of the amount of stress.
It's a lot of stress. And not all saves are created equal. You know, sometimes you go out there and there's a 3-run lead and it's bottom of the batting order. It's pretty easy. Other times it's a 1-run ball game and you're in the fat of the batting order and put a couple guys on base.
Ball game tied at 2, 2nd inning. A man at first and 1 away, and Barnhart waits for Williams. 1-1. Now it's 1-2. This ballpark opened in 2003. The Cubs are 5 under 500 lifetime here. 74 wins, 79 losses. Now the 1-2. And it's even. I still remember the first game the Cubs ever played here. It was on a Friday night in April of '03. Sammy Sosa hit career home run number 500 on a Friday night against Scott Sullivan. Remember him?
Yeah, I do.
He went out to right center. Now the count is full. Let's keep an eye on Senzel here. You got the pitcher on deck, so is he going or not?
I would send him, yeah. I would trust Barnhart to either take ball 4 or put the ball in play and stay out of the double play. Double play, that means you got the pitcher leading off the next inning, and that's the one thing David Bell wants to avoid here. And I think you're more likely to get a ground ball double play than a strike him out, throw him out double play, especially with Senzel's speed.
There he goes. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. Strike him out. Throw him out. Double play.
It was the least likely option, but they pulled it off. Barnhart comes up empty and Walters comes up big. The 3rd inning, here's on the bottom of the 2nd inning, ended a strike him out, throw him out, double play. You can understand David Bell's thinking, sending Senzel, but Tony Walters comes up big. 93 right through the heart of the plate. Barnhart comes up empty. Walters doesn't have the big arm that Contreras does. He has a good arm, but he's really quick on the exchange. Got that ball out of his mitt in a hurry. Accurate throw, and of course the no-look tag, quick tag by Javi down at second base. Everybody doing their piece. Williams getting the punch out. Walters delivering the throw, and Baez the tag. That was sweet.
Ian Happ was up there, remember, when Tony Walters was cut down trying to steal home. Happ doubled on the very first pitch of the game, scored the first run. Bryant and Baez to follow. Inside, let's go to Taylor McGregor.
Well, Ian Happ back at that leadoff position yesterday after a few days to kind of take some mental time. And David Ross said he was happy with his at-bats, felt like they were a step in the right direction, especially when it comes to being more aggressive. He felt like as the game went on, he was able to step in, be more aggressive. He got a base hit there in the 5th yesterday, and of course today comes up, swings on the first pitch for a double. So that's the kind of approach that David Ross would like to see out of Ian at the top of the order.
Very good, Taylor. Thank you. A swing and a miss by Happ. 2-1. Now it's 2-2. Just to follow up what Taylor was saying, it seems to me, Jim, and I've seen almost every big league game Ian Happ has ever played. I know you have also. When he's been hot, he's been very aggressive early in the count.
Yeah, he has. He's done a lot of damage.
This pop fly is playable for Barnhart, the catcher. Backpedaling into fair territory and making the play. 1 down.
Yeah, and I think that, the patience, obviously, we've talked a lot over the years about grinding out at bats and seeing pitches, and there's certainly value in that. But sometimes it's, the ambush can pay off too. I think the general approach that Rossi prefers, and Anthony Iapoce, Chris Valaika, and all the hitting guys with the Cubs, is that be ready to hit. Don't go up there just flailing away, but be ready to hit. And there is value sometimes in attacking early.
Bryant had a double and drove in a run in the first inning. Chris drives one in the air toward left field, back toward the wall. It's got a chance. Gone. Home run for Bryant. Cubs lead 3-2.
Well, there you go. There's an early attack. He's seen 2 pitches today. He has doubled and homered. And that's been a big part of his story. Up there ready to go early. If he gets something to his liking, why not take a whack at it? And his impressive season continues. Man, he is just been so much fun to watch. Trying to go down and away. It's elevated over the heart of the plate, and watch the reaction by Tyler Mahle. As soon as this ball hits bat, his head drops, Barnhart's head drops, and everybody knows where this one is going to end up.
Bryant's 8th of the year. He has a double and a homer today. 21 RBIs to take over the team lead, and here's Javier Baez. Well, I mentioned he had that 5-for-5 game back in June of 2016. 3 homers and 2 doubles. He's 40% of the way there today. Baez trying to duplicate Bryant's feat a moment ago.
Extra. Read all about it. 18 extra base hits. Second in Major League Baseball for KB behind JD.
Cubs have the lead again. 3rd inning, 1 down. The 0-2 to Baez.
The first time this year that Tyler Mahle has allowed more than 2 earned runs in a start.
Barnhart tried to frame that to make it look like strike 3, but it just missed. 2-2. Baez stays alive. This year, when Bryant puts the first pitch in play, he is 4 for 11 with 4 extra base hits. And he's done that each time today with a first inning RBI double and now the home run here in the 3rd.
Oof. It might take a while, folks. Go make a sandwich of this one. Wait for this one to come down.
So 2 pop-ups to the catcher, sandwiched around a Bryant home run. 2 down, 3rd inning, a run in. Cubs lead by a run, and the batter is Anthony Rizzo.
Just got underneath that ball. That swing, that would have been 450. But that's the nature of baseball, right? A pitcher will tell you, that's my job, is to get him to just miss.
Anthony is due. He is nothing for 8 in this series. He hits a high fly ball right center field and deep, back toward the wall. Gone. Anthony Rizzo with a home run, and the Cubs lead 4-2.
I believe we have a trend here with all these first pitch swings. It's been quite a show by the Cub hitters today, ambushing Tyler Mahle. They're just not letting him settle in. They're going to throw it over. We're going to take a whack at it. 410-foot home run for Anthony Rizzo, his 5th this season. It's just 4 out of 23 on the road trip, so this has to feel awfully good for Big Riz. Yeah, throw it up there. Take a whack at it.
Homers in the inning by both Bryant and Rizzo. The Cubs have a 2-run lead. Anthony's 5th this season, his 22nd home run in this park over the years, and it's the 2nd time he's taken Tyler Mahle deep.
Here's a Rizzo moment. First pitch in play today. 2 doubles, 2 long ones for the Cubs.
Matt Duffy rolls one out to short. Suarez will throw him out, but the Cubs play long ball and now lead by a pair.
And Trevor Williams working together as battery mates for the first time in a Cubs uniform, but I'm here to inform you it is not the first time in their lifetime. The two grew up north of San Diego playing travel ball together all throughout high school, and Tony was so excited to be reunited with his former teammate. He told me a story that they were playing at a tournament down in Georgia in high school, and Trevor threw a no-hitter. Well, guess who the catcher was? It was Tony, and that was actually a unique circumstance because Tony most of the time played shortstop, so pretty cool that they're able to now be together at the big leagues, guys.
Good story, Taylor. I like that. Travel ball. Was travel ball around when you were growing up, Jim?
No, we didn't have travel ball. Not in the sense that they do today.
Tyler Mahle, the batter, takes strike 3 called, and that's 1 away here in the bottom of inning number 3. Now let's see if Williams, with a 2-run lead, can hang on to that lead for the rest of his outing.
We had what they used to call town ball.
Town ball. American Legion. You must have played.
You know, I only played a little bit of Legion ball, but there was a league in my part of the world in northern New York called the Valley League, and this was populated with 50-year-olds.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I pitched. I was 17. I was in high school, and my catcher was a guy by the name of Frank Chatlin. He was 50. He played like Class D ball for the Yankees. So there's a number of ex-high school players, few ex-college players. Doubleheaders every Sunday, and there may or may not have been some consumption of adult beverages after the doubleheader.
Not in between games.
Not well, depending on which team you were on. Not me, of course. I was a youngster. I was a minor. I wasn't partaking, but there might have been some side bets going on.
Jesse Winker with a 1-1 count. Pretty good fastball. One of the best ones of the day by Trevor Williams. Thinking about Tyler Mahle, though, he had allowed 2 homers all year before today. So in a 3-batter span, Bryant and Rizzo each homer against him. And now Mahle has allowed 4 for the year. Sharp base hit to right by Winker with 1 away here in the 3rd inning, and it'll bring up Nicholas Castellanos.
Ian Winker, talked about him. He's hitting everybody, but he's really unloading on right-handed pitching. And you see the Cubs got the shift on, but he's able to hit that ball so sharply, finds a seam in the defense. Made a habit of hitting line drives this year.
Castellanos had a ground ball single up the middle his first time. A lot of contact from both sides early in today's game. Time called by Walters. Wants to go out and chat with his former travel ball companion.
Hey, Hey, want a beer?
Young man, say aye to the blandest lager in all the kingdom.
How about a Beeman Ginger Highball instead?
Yeah, definitely. Much better.
Cubs 4, Reds 2, bottom of inning number 3. Chris Bryant with a double and a homer and a pair of RBIs. Anthony Rizzo with a solo home run. Trevor Williams, the pitcher, grounded out to drive in a run. The Reds got their runs in the very first inning. Joey Votto, a run-scoring single, and the other run scored as Mike Moustakas was bouncing into a double play. The 2-0 from Williams to Castellanos. I would think green light from him. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the one count in baseball these days. You can anticipate a fastball. And he likes to hit the fastball.
And he drives one in the air, deep left center field. Back goes Bryant to the wall. This game is tied. A 2-run home run for Nicholas Castellanos on a 3-0 pitch. And just like that, this ball game is tied at 4.
No red light, no caution light, full-on green light for Castellanos. And, you know, we'll focus on the home run pitch, but Trevor Williams will tell you, I just put myself in a bind by falling behind him 3-0. Decides to challenge with the fastball. Looked like they were trying to throw a sinker, move it in on his hands a little bit. But that one stayed on the middle of the plate. Castellanos delivers his 8th home run of the year.
First time ever that Castellanos has homered on a 3-0 pitch. That's kind of surprising to me, Jim. How about you?
Well, I think, you know, a lot of guys are in take mode. Even a dangerous hitter, you know, are in take mode on 3-0. So I don't know how many times he's been in that count, and how many times he's actually swung. But I would guess after that one, he'd be more inclined to turn it loose on 3-0 in the future. And again, I think that's becoming much more the norm. It's not an automatic take situation now because it is the one count you can reliably expect to see a fastball.
0-2 on Joey Votto, former league MVP. Became the 3rd Red ever with 300 home runs on Friday night. Johnny Bench and Frank Robinson the others. Here's a bouncer to the left side. Duffy will make the play to Rizzo, and that's going to be out number 2.
The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Wrigley Field. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
A 4-4 tie. You get the distinct feeling that the bullpens will play a prominent role in this one before it's all said and done today. Again, this can be a great hitter's park on warm days, and it's pleasant today. 73 at game time.
It's been heavy fastball from Trevor Williams here today. I you know, kind of was thinking about curveball slider coming into this one. He's leaned heavily on that fastball. Maybe just the makeup of the Reds lineup, the scouting report they have against these certain hitters, maybe dictating how he's going about it.
Moustakas drives one in the air deep right in the corner, and that's a home run. Mike Moustakas with a line drive home run to right, and the Reds take a 5-4 lead. Each team with 2 home runs in this 3rd inning. And each time it was the number 2 hitter and the cleanup hitter that went deep. Bryant and Rizzo for the Cubs, each with solos. Castellanos with a 2-run blow, and now the cleanup man for the Reds, Moustakas, with a screaming line drive into the bullpen.
And that was a breaking ball, and it stayed up a little bit. Home run number 3 for Moustakas. Cubs have given up a lot of long balls on this trip. Of course, Truist Park in Atlanta, and this one both pretty good home run hitter.
Suarez drives one in the air, deep left center. This one's going to leave the yard. 3 homers in the inning for Cincinnati as Moustakas and Suarez go back-to-back on consecutive pitches. And the Reds have a 6-4 lead.
Yeah, I don't know if Trevor's having flashbacks, but I am. I remember having a couple games in Cincinnati that felt like this one. And Trevor, as we mentioned last year, the home run was a big problem for him. It had not been so far this year. He had allowed just 2 coming into this start this afternoon. Cubs have allowed 15 home runs on this road trip. It's the second one in the series for Suarez.
The ball cleared the Reds bullpen out in deep left center.
Trevor's like a boxer who needs to get to his corner and regroup, because he has taken a few shots on the chin here in the Reds' third.
Number 5 this season for Suarez, who now has 10 runs batted in. So between the two teams, a 5-homer inning. Tyler Naquin coming up.
There's action in the Cubs bullpen, and I believe it's Keegan Thompson, who was just recalled the other day. He would be making his major league debut if he gets into the ball game. I imagine he's got a pretty rapid heart rate going right about now.
Do you remember warming up in the bullpen prior to your first big league game?
I don't remember it specifically. I do remember just the feeling when I took the mound of just couldn't feel my legs.
What ballpark would that have been in?
Yankee Stadium.
It's a good place to break in.
1984 against the White Sox.
First batter you faced?
Maybe Rudy Law. I don't remember who was hitting leadoff that day.
Ron Kittle would have been with the team at that time.
Harold Baines hit a long home run.
Was Greg Luzinski in that lineup?
I think the Bull was, probably.
(6-4) Cincinnati. The Reds with 4 in the inning, all on home runs.
And they came into this game second in the league in home runs with 38.
Naquin hits it foul on the ground pass first. Well, you almost expect to see a relatively high-scoring game when the weather gets nice in Cincinnati. Just like Wrigley Field, when the wind is blowing out, you expect 8-6 and 10-7 games. It's kind of where we're headed today, I would believe. It's only the 3rd inning.
Yeah, unless somebody can come out of one of these bullpens and kind of take control of the ball game. The Reds have had all kinds of bullpen issues.
And we saw some evidence of that on Friday night. Reds pitchers walking 4 Cubs hitters as they tried to protect an 8-4 lead. Naquin still with a count of 1-2. This is a long inning for Trevor Williams. He struck out Malley, but Winker singled. Castellanos homered. After Votto grounded out, both Moustakas and Suarez each homered. And the 2-2. Naquin able to check in time. They're almost to the point where if another man would reach in the inning, this might be it for Williams.
And Thompson's probably ready by now. It's the 28th pitch of the inning. There's been an issue for the Cubs, just not getting length out of their starting pitching.
Bounces in there for ball 4. Walters didn't know where it was, but Naquin not really running. So a man at first. And the inning will continue for Nick Senzel. He'll be the 8th Red to bat in the inning.
Innings per start has been an issue. Fewest innings in Major League Baseball. That's the Jays, but you see the Cubs are 4th on that list. Major League average just a little over 5 innings per start.
Senzel had a base on balls his first time. At what point as a pitcher, regarding the number of pitches you've thrown in the inning, does it become a real issue for you?
You know, I think it just depends on the day. I mean, on a hot day, it really can suck the life out of you. I mean, he's probably a little gassed right about now, and maybe mentally more than physically. Yeah. Everything you're trying is not working. It gets very frustrating. You're not getting chases on pitches. You feel like you should get some chases. Guys are being disciplined. You throw one over the plate. You're hoping, go ahead, hit a line drive at somebody, please. They hit it out of the ballpark. And that's the thing, to stay mentally tough and not give in. I've seen some pitchers and some really good pitchers over the years just kind of give up out there and not compete. Like, just throw it in there. Go ahead, hit it. I'm done. You're not seeing that from Trevor. He competes. It's just not his day. Thompson is down. Maples is up. Oh, there's Keegan, so he's still an option.
Senzel will take inside.
I'm guessing Keegan to finish the inning if needed, and then Maples to start the next one would be what Rossi has in mind.
Trevor's starting to miss his spot by a wide margin. He's beyond 30 pitches in this one inning. I believe the number is 32. Reds lead by 2 down. Senzel skies it foul out of play. 2-1.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to know what the record for pitches in an inning is, and I'm sure it's from years ago, right? Because they don't let guys don't have many pitches nowadays. I remember a game I was working for the Astros. And Ricky Gutierrez had like a 24 pitch at bat against Bartolo Colon.
That's amazing. Again, Williams missing his spot by several inches, and it's now 3-1 on Senzel. So there had to be almost 20 foul balls in that.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Gee, man. Naquin leads at first. Pitch to Senzel, and that's going to be ball 4. Now let's see what David Ross wants to do. He is going to emerge from the dugout, and there will be a pitching change. It could be either Thompson or Maples. And we'll just have to see who comes in. Williams exiting after 2 2/3. It'll be Maples when we come back. Sports Network is brought to you by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. By Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. By Prevagen. Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. And by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Dylan Maples on the mound, 6-4, Cincinnati leads.
Dylan, our Budweiser pitching change. He's really been sharp lately. I mean, overall, the numbers are good. A 159 ERA. Walk rate is high. Strikeout rate is really high. But the walks haven't been as much of an issue over his last 3 or 4 appearances. He went a stretch here, 7 or 8 days where he didn't pitch, but coming out of that, he's been pretty sharp, and David Ross has been willing to call his name more frequently. And this is a big situation so early in this ball game with a couple guys on base. Needs to get Barnhart here.
4 runs in, men at first and second. Maples working on the Reds catcher, and Barnhart takes outside. Maples really pitched very well in the opening game of this series Friday night. 2 scoreless innings featuring 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's punched out 8 and walked 1 over his last 4 outings. He and Justin Steele that combined on Friday for all that good work.
This breaking ball drops in there and evens up the count. Barnhart, the 9th man to bat for Cincinnati in this 3rd inning. The 1-1. Almost a wild pitch. Good reactions by Walters.
Barnhart showing a very disciplined eye there, laying off that pitch.
Yeah, right.
Walters, like Contreras, has very good range for a catcher. 80-82, it's going to be the curveball, the slider, or 88, fastball 95-96 from Maples.
Toward the middle, but Baez will juggle it and have no play. Throws behind the runner at third, and out at third is Naquin. Alert play by Baez. He still might get charged with an error on the play, allowing the batter Barnhart to reach, but the 3rd out of the inning is recorded. Score that one 6-5 as Naquin rounded the bag too far and is tagged out by Matt Duffy. Rough inning, 4 for the Reds. They take the lead. It's 6-4 as we go to inning number 4. To you by Prevagen. On this day, way back in 1876, at Cincinnati's Avenue grounds, Chicago's Ross Barnes hit the first home run in the history of the National League. In addition to his inside-the-park homer, the former National Association superstar also hit a single, triple, stole 2 bases, and scored 4 runs in the White Stockings' 15-9 victory over the Reds. Ross Barnes, full name Charles Roscoe Barnes. He hit over 400 3 different seasons in the early days of baseball. They had some different rules back then. Jason Hayward will take a strike. He took full advantage, I was reading on the computer earlier, took full advantage of the game's fair foul rules at the time. Batted balls in those days, Jim, that landed in fair territory first and then bounced foul were considered in play.
So even before the bag, so you could chop a ball like towards the dugout as long as it bounced fair first.
So I'm guessing guys would move up to the front of the batter's box to increase the likelihood of a ball that they hit would strike in fair territory before going foul.
Or just kind of choke up and try to slice one.
Hayward skies one to deep left, Back toward the track is Winker with a routine play, and that's going to be out number 1.
That'd be hard to defend that guy. Talking about playing a shift.
I wonder if they had a rule in those days where defensive players had to be in fair territory.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously baseball has changed a bunch over the years. In the earliest days, and I don't know about Ross Barnes, but in the earliest days, a pitcher would tell, or the hitter would tell the pitcher where he wanted the ball, whether up or down.
Nico Horner fouls it away.
So you could, and they wouldn't call strikes right away. The home plate umpire, if he thought you were taking too many pitches that were hittable, then he would start to call strikes, and then the strikeout became an option.
Now the 0-1. Horner looks at a strike. Nico had a base hit, scored a run his first time.
So new life here for Tyler Mahle, who clearly has not been at his best today. He's outlasted Trevor Williams, and if he can pitch 2 more innings, he would qualify for a win.
Horner will strike out, and that's out number 2. For Mahle, his 3rd strikeout of the day.
He has not generated many swings and misses today, but this time he's able to beat Nico. Little defensive emergency hack there, just trying to stay alive. Looked like maybe he was looking for something in.
Walters had a single his first time. Getting back to the first National League homer ever by Ross Barnes. It came against a Reds pitcher by the name of Cherokee Fisher. And there were conflicting reports. I was doing some research today. Some said it was an inside the Parker. Some said it was into the, quote, carriage area down the left field line, the carriage for the fans to sit in. You can imagine 145 years later that details can be a little sketchy on things like that.
Yeah.
Change up from Mahle. He must feel rejuvenated after giving up the home runs to Bryant and Rizzo in the 3rd. His teammates bounced back with 4 runs of their own.
Yeah, I think as a pitcher here, you feel a certain responsibility to take advantage of what your guys have given you, and trying to send the message to David Bell to stick with me here. I know things haven't gone my way, but he's trying to convince David Bell that he's the right man for the job here to go a couple of more innings. Again, the Reds bullpen have had a lot of issues, so I would imagine Bell would be inclined to stick with Mahle as long as he likes what he's seeing out of him over these next couple of innings. Pitch count isn't too much of an issue at 59 right now.
The 2-2. Walters stays alive.
And back in the day, Pat, right? Sometimes there wasn't a wall in the outfield. There would just be like a rope, and fans would stand out there, and the ball would be hit into the fans.
If you look back at some of the parks 120, 140 years ago, they were gigantic. They were like 400 feet down the lines and almost 500 feet to dead center. Swing and a miss, strike 3, a changeup, and the Cubs do nothing in the 4th inning. The Reds lead by a pair, and we'll be right back. Here's a look at our upcoming schedule, brought to you by American Family Insurance. Cubs are home to take on the Dodgers. 3 night games at Wrigley beginning tomorrow night at 6:40. A day off. The Cubs will have played 16 consecutive days. They get a day off this Thursday, and then the Pirates 3 matinees beginning Friday afternoon at 1:20.
Yeah, and getting ready for that homestand. The boys are out getting the field in playing shape.
Speaking of the Dodgers, they are having a very tough time in Milwaukee, and Going back a couple of weeks, the Dodgers now have lost 9 of 12. The defending world champions began the season with a record of something like 16-3. And now they've, as every team does, they've run into a rough patch.
Yeah, not scoring a lot of runs here lately, and certainly Cubs know what that's all about, facing that Milwaukee pitching staff. Malley's got a good-looking swing. This is legit here. I mean, a little bit of a bailout.
The 0-2 from Dylan Maples. Strike 3 call. Maples gets the punch out. 1 away. Bottom of the 4th inning. Reds lead by a couple.
Yeah, so the Dodgers got it lined up for this 3-game set, don't they? Buehler, Kershaw, and Bauer, all with sparkling numbers. And they'll be up against Hendricks, Alzolay, and Jake Arrieta. All night games, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Jesse Winker has been on twice and scored a couple of runs. He's walked and singled, hitting a league-leading .378. And the 0-1 from Maples. Did he go? That was close. I believe they ruled no swing. It was an appeal to the third base umpire, Sam Holbrook.
Winker and Castellanos 1-2 in the Reds batting order here today. They've reached all 4 times they've come up, and they've scored all 4 times.
Sharply hit to Rizzo, gloves it cleanly, underhand feed to Maples. Score that one 3-1. It's out number 2, and the batter now is Nick Castellanos. Castellanos with a single to center and a 2-run home run to left. Maples got the final out in that 3rd inning. He's gotten the first 2 here in the 4th. Had a real strong outing his last time. He's starting to hit a certain level of consistent performance that the Cubs were hoping for. There have been so many guys, Jim, with great arms. I don't have to tell you. And the question is, can he throw enough strikes?
Yeah. Can just find some level of consistency, and you don't have to be a pitch maker when you have this kind of stuff. You don't have to throw a ton of strikes, but you have to throw enough. You know, fastball command obviously would be a key. He commands his breaking ball, his slider, better than his fastball. That's been the track record.
Two down, bases empty.
He's a very deliberate, thoughtful guy. Taking a little time here as he resets. Tries to get together with Walters on the game plan.
Bounce weakly to Rizzo. He'll flip this one to Maples to end the inning. We go to the 5th inning. The Reds lead by 2.
For the 5th inning is sponsored by Verizon. 5G built right. And folks, as fans return to Wrigley Field this season, the Cubs are offering limited availability for private spaces for groups of 8 or more. Don't miss your chance to be a part of it live. To learn more and join the private space wait list, visit Cubs.com/tickets. Sogard to hit for Maples here.
In the air, shallow left center. Naquin, the center fielder, makes an easy catch. 1 down, 5th inning. Cubs are down by 2. Let's see if Ian Happ can start a rally. Happ with a double and a pop out to the catcher. Happ doubled on the game's first pitch and then scored on the game's second pitch as Chris Bryant ripped a double down the third base line. Happ now 1 for 14 lifetime against Tyler Mahle, who comes back. Misses outside. JD, you and I were talking about Mahle and how effective he's been against left-handed batters all year. I mean, at the end of the game, he had allowed only 5 hits, all singles, in 54 at-bats to left-handed batters.
Yeah, it's strikeout rate close to 40% against lefties, and I'm guessing it's that splitter. Real good weapon for him against left-handed bats. 94 at the knees will play too. There are the splits. Lefties hitting .093 entering play today. Just a 315 OPS. That's microscopic.
Happ will take a strike. Strike 3 called. In fact, that's out number 2. That sinking fastball came back and just did nip the inside corner. 2 down. Here comes Chris Bryant.
Home run replay brought to you by Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. First pitch swinging at 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Chris Bryant jumps all over it for his 8th home run of the season. You've seen 2 pitches today, a double and a home run. See how aggressive Mahle is on 0-0 here. Yeah, very good. There you go. A little pushback. Now does he double up in there or does he try to go away? The latter. OPS leaders in the National League. Chris Bryant just behind Winker and Acuna Jr.
Chris drives one in the air, deep left field. This ball's got a chance. It's gone. His second of the day. Well, we made a reference earlier that Chris had that historic game back in 2016 in this park with 3 homers and 2 doubles all in one game. The only time that had ever been done by a big leaguer in a 5 at-bat game. That particular combo. Well, he might do it again today.
This is just incredible. Yeah, you had the full house game, the 3 home runs, 2 doubles. It's double, dinger, dinger so far today. And Mahle again with the head drops. I've got no clue. That's a cement mixer right there. A hovering hit me slide ball, and KB says, okay, I'll comply. There's always a lot of Cub fans in Cincinnati. That the game he had the 3 home run, 2 double game. He got a loud, long standing ovation from the Cub fans, and they were dying to get a curtain call, and he wouldn't do it. I'm not going to take a curtain call on the road. He just wouldn't do that to the Reds.
2 homers for Bryant today, 9 for the season, his 15th career multi-homer game. Baez rips a smash past a diving Suarez, base hit left center, picked up by Winker. Baez always aggressive. He'll hold with a single. So the tying run is on. Here's Anthony Rizzo. He homered his last time.
Cubs fighting back here. This is a good pitch. This is 89, but we say it all the time with Javi. If you're going to miss, you got to miss beyond his range. You can go out and get the ball. Like a little slider or cutter at 89 just off the outside corner and down. And Javi's really good down.
Both teams' bullpens getting ready. Lots of offense today. 6-5 Cincinnati. This is Bryant's third career multi-homer game here in Cincinnati at the Great American Ballpark.
Derek Johnson is the pitching coach for the Cincinnati Reds. Out there trying to dispense a little wisdom for Tyler Mahle. Home Run is brought to you by Hefty, ultra strong, ultra low price. Riz got a high fastball back in the third. And that was a first pitch swing. Cubs have really been aggressive early in the count here today.
Each team with 3 home runs today. Rizzo belted his 5th of the year back in the 3rd inning. Bryant with 3 more runs batted in, up to 22 ribbies for the season. Anthony takes a strike. His home run, his 22nd in this ballpark over the years. Rizzo bounces one to the right side. 3 infielders over there. Senzel makes the play, and that ends the inning. But the Cubs move a step closer. 6-5 Cincinnati.
5. Commemorate your fandom with an engraved brick and be part of the legacy of Wrigley Field. Packages include an installed brick, a certificate of recognition, and a replica brick delivered to your home or office. Purchase now at WrigleyFieldBrickPavers.com. Got a new chunker. It's a Budweiser pitching change, and it's a major league debut. Keegan Thompson. Look at his minor league numbers from 2019. He was injured, didn't pitch much. He was at the alternate site last year, had a nice spring. And here he is in the big leagues, getting ready to make his very first pitch to a probable future Hall of Famer.
Welcome to the big leagues. Joey Votto will take inside, a check swing on the first offering. Mike Moustakas and then Eugenio Suarez to follow.
So much for a soft landing. Let's see what you got, kid. 1-run game on the road, middle of the order. Good pitch here, 95. Apparently just missing the inside corner.
The 2-0 to Votto, swinging, fouling it away.
In some respects, not a bad idea, right, to bring Thompson in against Votto, because Votto's such a studious guy, and he's probably got a book on everybody but Keegan Thompson.
Three balls and a strike.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to strike out at Joey Votto for his first big league batter face. He'll settle for an out. He's got to make a pitch here on 3-1.
Full count on Votto. Keegan Thompson in 35 career minor league games, a record of 10-10. His ERA near 3.5. He has started more than he has relieved in the minors. 29 starts, 6 bullpen appearances. The payoff to Votto. Just inside, and he walks the first man he faces.
It's really difficult to control your emotions out there in Major League debut. There's so much adrenaline pumping through your body. You see he's trying to take a deep breath, trying to calm down. Something that you've done since you were a little guy, but on this stage it's a completely different feel. Keegan from Alabama. He was a 3rd-round pick of the Cubs in 2017.
Mike Moustakas drilled a line drive homer his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Big bouncer toward the middle. Back in it by Baez. Great play. Flips to Rizzo. Double play. Short hop backhand pickups. Those are not all that easy. He made it look like it was a piece of cake.
Yeah,
2 down.
This is pretty stuff. Watch Javi do his thing. He's in complete control. Backhand short hop, as Pat mentioned. Glove going forward through the ball. Good technique. And just a little flip over to first to finish it off.
And just like that, 2 down, bases empty. Reds lead by a run. 5th inning, and here's Eugenio Suarez. Cubs' 3rd double play of the day. A smash out of the range of Baez. Valiant diving backhand try by Javi.
That little cutter or slider up.
Baez has such quickness and tremendous range, and he closes on a ball so fast. I've learned to always wait and never assume that a ball is going to be out of his range. Double play looks a little bit bigger now. 2 outs for Tyler Naquin. Keegan Thompson, the newest member of the Cubs, ready for the 0-1. Oh, 2. Well, he's looking for that first big league strikeout. What pitch might do it, Jim?
Well, he's got pretty lively fastball, Pat. Could try the elevated heater. That's what they got in mind. That was
a little too much elevated.
Yeah, not close enough to get him to bite.
Outfield deep and straight away. Naquin with a ground out and a walk today. Tyler Naquin, former Indian, lines one into left field. There's a base hit. Outside breaking ball, didn't try to pull it, just punched it the other way. 2 on, 2 down for Nick Senzel.
2-strike breaking ball in the zone is usually problematic, and a good bit of hitting here by Naquin.
Three of the 4 batters that Keegan Thompson has faced have reached, but the double play has kept them off the board so far. Here is Senzel. Senzel with a pair of walks. This should end the inning. Horner to Baez. 4-6 on the fielder's choice. Keegan Thompson puts a 0 on the board in his big league debut.
Top of the 6th inning, Matt Duffy due up in the batter's box. He has not been on base yet today, but coming into today's ball game was getting on base to a clip north of 400. This is a guy whose game plays really well. He gets on base, he has high contact, he doesn't swing and miss a lot, and what the Cubs hitters are saying is that type of energy is contagious. We talk so much about hitting being contagious, but what he does, trying to keep it simple, just going center field, that's really permeated into the Cubs offense, and they feel like, especially in the bottom half of the order, with just trying to not do too much, this guy has really helped set the tone, guys.
Taylor, thank you. Let's see if Duffy can start this inning favorably. He takes a strike. It's 0-2. Duffy today has struck out and grounded out.
Yeah, it's been nice to follow his story. A non-roster invitee to camp, had success with the Giants early in his career. Kind of fell on some hard times. Now he's finding himself playing a prominent role on this Cubs team.
Cubs down by a run. Hayward to follow, and then Horner. Malley's 80th pitch of the day.
think this speaks a little bit to the issues that the Reds bullpen have had, that David Bell has sent Mahle back out there for the 6th, despite getting hit around pretty good here today. I think if it was the top of the order, that would be a different story, but David Bell trying to squeeze a little more out of Mahle, and maybe it'll be just one out with the Hayward on deck. He's got Doolittle, the lefty, up in the pen.
Line down the right field line. That is going to be a fair ball, bouncing into the corner. Chasing it down is Castellanos, and Duffy will stop with a leadoff double. I like the way he sprays the ball to all fields.
That's the old adage, hit it where it's pitched. Out away from him and down a little bit. He lashes it to right. All the way into the corner she goes, around the boards, and that's going to do it for Mahle. Cubs continue to use the whole field. That's their 7th opposite field hit here today.
David Bell wants to bring in a left-hander. It is 6-5 Cincinnati. We're in the 6th inning. A lot of baseball left. Don't go away.
And Cub fans, it's time to gear up. Visit the Cub store at Gallagher Way for your official Cubs merchandise, apparel, and collectibles. Visit us in store or online at thenewivishop.com to round out your Cubs wardrobe today. Budweiser pitching change, and it's the veteran lefty Sean Doolittle. Our second look at him in this series. 13th appearance, 10 1/3, 435 through 10 pitches in the ball game yesterday. A lot of fastballs, but 85 to 90% typically from Doolittle.
Tying run at second base. Nobody out, 6th inning. Jason Hayward at the plate. Votto makes the play, but this will get Duffy over to third. Votto sliding ahead of Hayward. Now the tying run 90 feet away. Hayward able to make a productive out.
StatCast powered by a Google Cloud. We talked about Nico Hoerner's ability to spray the ball all around the diamond, and here's the visual evidence. 13 hits using the whole field. A lot of work to center and right. And if you try to jam him, he'll turn on that inside fastball and hit it down the third baseline.
You can see the infield playing in. Doolittle to work from a stretch. Moustakas now moves a little closer to third to keep Duffy in the neighborhood.
Really good job by Jason Hayward to get on top of that fastball from Doolittle. Pull it on the ground to the right side and get Duffy over there to third.
Warner drove in the winning run yesterday, trying to drive in the tying run right now. And that's what he's done with a line drive down the left field line. The tying run is in. Nico going for 2. And the throw to second base not nearly in time. Stand-up double, ball game tied at 6.
Well, it's always good when they follow the script. I showed you the spray chart for Nico, how much work he's done the other way, but the ability to turn on that inside pitch, he was ready for it. Our T-Mobile coverage cams locks in on Nico Hoerner. Tried to get in on his hands. He said, no, sir, not going to let you in.
Hoerner's second hit of the day, his 7th run batted in. Cubs have battled back to get into a 6-6 tie. Now let's see if they can take the lead with 1 away here in the 6th inning.
Six in the 6th. That's rather devilish, Pat. 6 runs, all on the ledger of the starter Tyler Mahle. Came into this one with a 1.75 ERA.
And he, like Trevor Williams, will have a no decision in this ball game. And Hoerner trying to run the throw to third base, and they're going to get him. Nico took off too soon, and he is the second out in the inning.
Well, the Cubs have been very aggressive stealing bases on this road trip, and David Ross has freed his guys up, and he wants them to go early. That time, Doolittle does the little inside move, so he's just going on first move there. Not really a situation where he's trying to read Doolittle. He's just going on first move, assuming he's going to go home. But that time, the Reds, they've been advancing the Cubs. They know what they've been trying to do on the bases, so they called for that little inside move and got him.
2 down, bases empty. Walters with a count of 0-1. Caught stealing, 1-5 if you're scoring. Cubs have had a runner caught stealing, trying to steal home today, and now a guy trying to steal third. A couple of unusual plays. Doolittle to Walters, lifted to left. Playable for Winker, and the inning comes to an end. Cubs get even on the RBI double by Nico Horner, 6-6.
Y'all try hate, great, I'll grow on my own. You wishing I'ma fail, I'm so in the zone. All you little fakes should behold how I roll. No, you wishing I would leave, what the hell's a retreat? Come at the king.
Our game summary is brought to you by Wintrust. Chris Bryant putting on a show, 2 home runs and a double. The Cubs, among their 10 hits, have 8 extra base knocks today, 3 homers and 5 doubles. Tough day to be a pitcher at the Great American Ballpark. 6-6 tie. Alec Mills now the man on the mound for the Cubs.
Yeah, it is a tough day to pitch, obviously. The hitters are kind of locked in, but it's an opportunity for somebody to be a hero and go out there and post a couple zeros. Dylan Maples did a nice job, and now Mills on for the 10th time. 18 innings and a 4.50 ERA.
Barnhart dribbles one past the mound. Baez bobbles, and safe at first is Tucker Barnhart.
That was a gyro ball right off the end of the bat. The slow curveball from Mills had him out in front. And this ball appeared to have all kinds of funky spin on it. Yeah, it just had a lot going on. A little snake in the grass. And slowly as that was hit, I don't think Javi was going to throw him out. That should be an infield hit of the softest kind.
Alex Blandino will be a pinch hitter for the Reds. We saw him yesterday. He struck out in the 9th inning. Craig Kimbrell got him looking. See what Blandino has done for the year. So the go-ahead run is on with nobody out. Barnhart being held by Rizzo. Mills to Blandino. Did they charge Javi with an error?
Base hit. They gave him a base hit.
Okay. Mills 0-1.
Alex ERA took a little bit of a hit last time out in Atlanta. 2 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, a couple of home runs. He's been a valuable guy out of that bullpen and give you some length. It's been important with the Cubs starters not able to pitch deeply into many ball games.
Blandino takes strike 3 call. Beautiful curveball got him. 1 down, 6-6 tie. Bottom of the 6th inning. Back to the top of the order for Jesse Winker.
Uncle Charlie pays a visit, and Blandino takes a seat.
Jim, you mentioned the Cubs are looking for a guy who can work multiple innings perhaps today from Mills out of the bullpen. Yesterday, the Cubs bullpen worked 5 full innings. Dominant ball, 5 shutout innings, in fact. And tonight, or today, the Cubs starter Trevor Williams taken out with 2 outs in the 3rd. So at least 6 1/3 innings of work needed by the Cub bullpen again today. Winker fouls one on the ground.
Yeah, and as you contemplate the return of Jock Peterson, he's eligible to come off the IL. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Just kind of playing it day by day. You know, he'd love to be in there for this Dodger series. And, you know, my guess is in a perfect world, the Cubs would go with a 5-man bench and option out a pitcher. But it just depends on, you know, kind of coverage you get from your bullpen. You might need the extra arms.
1-1 on Jesse Winker. Winker has walked and singled and grounded out. He has scored a couple of runs. Came into the game leading the league in hitting at .370. Deep drive to right, foul, well back out of play. Lucas Sims, who was very wobbly in the 9th inning on Friday night, starting to warm up for the Reds in their bullpen. Cubs tied the game in the top of the inning on Nico Hoerner's RBI double. The 1-2 down the left field line and dropping foul out of the range of Bryant. Just kind of a protecting type swing by Winker to stay alive.
Looked like he was playing badminton. Trying to flip it over the net.
We've had good crowds here. The maximum allowability is 40% here in Cincinnati. 16,000 Friday night, over 17,000 yesterday, so that's about as much as they are allowed to have. And a lot of Cub fans. Winker gets hit in the back of the right arm. Two men on with one away.
And they'll walk him down to first base and check in. He's got that elbow guard on. And it looked like he was kind of leaving that out there a la Conforto with the Mets. Maybe not quite as blatant. The Conforto situation, fans saw that or saw a replay of it a while back. The pitch was actually in the strike zone. He stuck his elbow in there and got hit by a pitch. Umpires missed the call.
That was the winning run in the game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So now a tough spot for Alec Mills. You got two men on and the dangerous Nicholas Castellanos at the plate in a tie game in the 6th inning. Smacked on the ground into left field past a diving Duffy. Bryant comes up throwing toward the plate, and the bases are loaded. Castellanos' 3rd hit of the day, and Joey Votto coming up with the bases loaded.
Yeah, off-speed pitch up, and Castellanos jumps all over it. KB got there in a hurry, so no send for Barnhart. J.R. House, the third base coach, with the stop sign. Joey Votto due up and only one out. He'll take his chances.
Nobody throwing in the Cub bullpen. The spot belongs to Alec Mills.
Shop Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and more with our sleep experts today to find your best sleep. Only at Mattress Firm.
Votto always tough to face, but particularly in a spot like this. He draws a lot of walks. He makes contact. He has singled to drive in a run today, grounded out and walked. Three infielders to the right of second against Votto. Potential turning point of the ball game right now.
He It's aggressive there, 0-0-2 as we look at the profile on Joey Votto. Closing in on 2,000 hits, right at 300 home runs, lifetime 300 batting average. 6-time All-Star MVP in 2010. Yeah, I think he's headed to Cooperstown.
Now the 0-1 to Votto. Good change of pace. 0-2. What's on your mind here for this pitch?
Well, what would be on my mind would be the shoulder-high fastball. I don't know that's on Alex's mind. Alex's mind, maybe go even shorter with that slow curveball. Try to tempt him, try to get him roll over on one.
Infielders looking for a ground ball, something they can turn. Huge lead at third by Barnhart. Votto strikes out swinging on a changeup. 2 down. Pretty good pitch by Alec Mills.
Yeah, absolutely. Votto in protect mode, still couldn't stay back long enough to get a piece of that changeup from Mills. That is huge.
2 down. You're not out of the woods yet. The cleanup hitter Mike Moustakas steps in. And that's a strike. Moustakas has had an unusual day. He has hit into 2 double plays and homered. Bases full of Reds, 2 down, bottom of the 6th inning. Tie game. Good fastball up near the letters. 0-2. What might he throw here, JD?
Well, he's got options, doesn't he, with 2 strikes? That's the thing about Mills. He's not a one-trick pony. Saw him execute the high fastball, the changeup to Votto. Looks like they're going down and away. Change piece. You know, the scouting information, the data they have on the opposing hitters now is so precise. You know, we used to think about certain attacks in certain counts. But he's checking the card there. So you know, you can say, well, for me, I like to throw my high fastball with 2 strikes. But Mills got the slow curve and the changeup. A lot of it may be dictated by, Moustakas specific holes that they might try to exploit.
Bases loaded, 2 down, tie game. The 1-2 from Mills. A little foul deep to right and out of play. He struck out Votto on a changeup a moment ago.
High leverage situations, there's a lot of pressure. The ability to execute off-speed pitch is so important, to pitch smarter, to be able to take a little off.
The 1-2, and he hits him with a pitch to force in a run. Moustakas gets hit in the leg, second hit batsman in the inning. The Reds have taken a 7-6 lead.
Yeah, it was a good try because he's been throwing a lot of soft stuff, so he wanted to throw that 2-seam fastball that starts inside and runs back to the corner. He was fearful probably of making a mistake over the plate, so he just overthrew it, pulled it, and gets Moustakas in the hip.
Second hit batsman in the inning, 2 singles, a run in. 7-6 Cincinnati. Eugenio Suarez, a dangerous hitter at the plate. Late swing, 0-1.
It's a weird inning. It starts with the Barnhart base hit, weak contact right off the end of the bat, that little squibber. The Castellanos' ball, his base hit to left was sharply hit, but a couple of punch outs, a little slow ground ball, and a couple of hit batsmen.
The 0-1. Pitch inning for Alec Mills. The 1-1 to Suarez. Smash into left field. It'll drive in one. Castellanos heading to the plate. The throw not in time. A 2-run single. And the Reds now lead 9-6. Winker scored easily. Castellanos got the green light with 2 down, of course.
Suarez, who's really struggled all year long. 3 hits here today. A little bit of a hanging breaking ball from Alec. Throw over the top at home, but it wasn't going to change the outcome of the play.
And the Reds have their biggest lead of the day. It is 9-6. Runners end up at second and third on that play. And Tyler Naquin at the plate. Reds have been scoring a lot of runs, especially in their home park all year. Chris Bryant charged with an error. Give Suarez 2 runs batted in. E7 allows the runners to advance to second and third. Naquin takes inside at the belt.
I think those runners were going to move up anyway if he makes an accurate throw home, because they're going to let that ball go through, and I think the back runners would have advanced.
So you're saying there's no real need to charge an arrow?
I could be wrong. Maybe they would not have advanced, but it looked to me like they would have moved up anyway. Again, we're not in the ballpark, so sometimes it's hard to read that.
We are at Wrigley Field. The Cubs are in Cincinnati. And by the way, an update from Wrigley. There's about 90% green ivy on the outfield walls. It looks beautiful on this sunny day here in Chicago. Cubs will be home tomorrow night. Hop fly shallow right. Horner out. Hayward in. And the inning comes to an end. But the Reds score 3, and they lead by 3 as we move to the 7th inning. In Los Angeles, Dodgers to Wrigley Field for the first time this season. Game coverage kicks off tomorrow right here on Marquee at 6:30 p.m. There's the green ivy. Get a few warm days. You get a few rainfalls, and almost overnight, beautiful green ivy on the vines. Well, let's see if the Cubs can bounce back. Still plenty of time. We're only in the 7th inning. David Bodie pinch hitting for Alec Mills. And he'll take inside. Lucas Sims, extremely wild in his outing on Friday night. His season ERA 5.79, as you can see.
Yeah, he's always battled with command issues. He has a good arm, good movement, good velocity. The Cubs have been very aggressive today. It might pay off to be patient now at this stage of the ball game with this Reds bullpen coming into play.
Cubs 10 hits today, no walks, 8 extra base hits for the Cubs.
Didn't have to be, Shane. I'm not saying it wasn't. I just said it didn't have to be.
Is there a distinction there?
Yeah. It's a mild complaint.
Shane Livensparger, the home plate umpire. Little tap right back to the mound. Sims will lob to Votto, and that's out number 1.
Bullpen ERA, the worst in baseball, is the Detroit Tigers at 6.68. And behind them, the Redlegs, 5.51 bullpen ERA. So it's a nervous time for David Bell trying to finish off these games.
Let's see if Ian Happ can get a rally going. Chris Bryant is on deck. Bryant putting on a show today with an RBI double and a pair of solo home runs. Happ is 1 for 3 with a 2-bagger. Happ lines this one the other way. That's going to be a base hit. In front of Winker. Ian Happ gets his second hit. I like the way he kept his head down and just drove that to the opposite field. Nicely done.
He said throughout his struggles, you just got to trust the process, believe in yourself. Starting to show some signs. That's a real good swing.
It's only the Cubs' 3rd single of the day. They've had 5 doubles, 3 home runs, 2 by the guy at the plate, Chris Bryant.
That was rather bold, the way he's swinging it today to attack him with that heater. He is now tied for the league lead in home runs, major league lead, with Acuna Jr. and J.D. Martinez. These guys, they share the podium a lot, these 3 guys. Reading their names a lot here today.
Breaking ball just missed. If Bryant can reach, Baez would be the tying run on deck.
Slider there. Sims originally a first-round draft pick of the Braves in 2012. Traded to the Reds 2018's deal that sent Adam Duvall to Atlanta.
The 1-2 to Chris Bryant from Lucas Sims. Little chopper slowly toward first. Votto will get to the bag ahead of Bryant. Happ advances to second, but now there are 2 down. Bryant retired for the first time today.
Hey, Pat, you were talking about this date in baseball history earlier. Also, this date in baseball history, our fine producer, Mike Leary, was born. So happy birthday, Mike Leary. Cubs are going to come back and get you a W here today. Maybe Javi will hit a home run, actually, for Mike Leary. We could get that message to Javi.
Baez 1 for 3 with a single. Reds bullpen stays busy in back of Lucas Sims. TJ Antone, who had the save on Friday night, throwing.
Yeah, I think Antone is going to become a very important piece of it for David Bell. He looks like he may ultimately end up in the rotation, but he's got really good stuff. I think a better option than some of the other guys they've had out there.
Baez takes inside. Well, when a lot of guys are struggling, like Sean Doolittle, Amir Garrett, Lucas Sims, you're going to get your chance. You know, you're going to
Yeah.
You're going to have several auditions.
First month or so of the season, the manager's trying to, not always, but it's a fairly typical dynamic. The manager trying to figure out how he's going to use those guys in the bullpen and who's going to step up and become the reliable, high leverage, hold the lead guys.
Baez 1 for 3. Checks his swing. Did he go? No swing. Mike McClinsky made that call. The first base umpire. Looked like the right call.
Well, this is where if Sims tries to throw a little get over breaking ball here on 2-0, he's asking for trouble.
If Baez can get on somehow, Rizzo would be the tying run on deck.
Good heater, 97 at the knees. He is always in his hat, this guy. Checking to see what sequence of signs they're using with a man on second base. And I think, the relief pitching is a high adrenaline job, man. And I think that's what's going on. I think there's a lot of forgetfulness going on out there and double checking. I don't think it's so much scouting report. I think it's signs.
Baez hits a high fly ball down the left field line toward the corner. Long run Winker. That ball is out of play, foul.
That was the one. The strike breaking ball that he hammers. It stayed in just a little bit. If that floats out over the plate a little bit more, he's circling the bases. He was trying to go away. And it backs up on Sims, and Javi just misses. He's had a couple just misses here today.
Cubs down by 3. 2 outs, a man at second. The 2-2. Swing and a drive, deep right center. It's got a chance. Long gone. Baez with a long home run to the right of dead center, and the Cubs are down by only 1. It's 9-8.
Happy birthday, Mike Leary. There you go. There's your birthday home run. This is a wild and crazy ball game, and Javi, that time he got the fastball. We've been talking a lot about him and how he has been beaten by fastballs a good bit here early on, but lately he's starting to catch up to him, and that's precisely what happens here. This is awfully good to see. Elevated 97, not a swing through, not a pop up, but a bye-bye. Tell by his reaction, it's time for a little jaunt around the bases. Way back there.
His 7th of the year. Anthony Rizzo now is the tying run. He's going to face T.J. Antone, I believe. It looks like David Bell is going to make a double switch. Baez with 22 runs batted in. He and Bryant tied for the team leadership in that category. It's a 1-run game. We'll be back with more. T.J. Antone is the new man on the mound. Kyle Farmer comes in to play second base. Nick Senzel goes out to center. Tyler Naquin has left the game.
Antone with sparkling numbers, as you saw. ERA of 0.64 in 14 innings, just 1 home run allowed.
Cubs with 4 home runs in today's game, and they still trail. Anthony Rizzo to face Antone. Nice curveball. Antone got the final out in a very hectic 9th inning, retiring David Bodie on a ground ball to third with the bases loaded at the time to preserve a 2-run win. Rizzo hits one sharply to Votto, gloves it, unassisted play, ends the inning. Cubs scored twice on the booming home run by Baez. It is 9-8 Cincinnati in the middle of the 7th.
There you go, Mike. Happy birthday,
buddy. Work is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Through it all. By the Ford F-150. Visit your local Ford dealer today. By Menards. Save big money at Menards. And by the Bob Locurcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. Cubs are down by 1 as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Don't miss your chance to watch Cubs baseball from the all-inclusive, unique atmosphere of the rooftops surrounding Wrigley Field. Tickets are available now by calling 773-248-ROOF or by visiting WrigleyRooftops.com.
Budweiser pitching change. It brings on the rookie left-hander Justin Steele. He's made 4 big league appearances, and he has an ERA of 0 for 5 1/3, and he's generating a lot of swings and misses. And most impressive, especially that effort in Cincinnati a couple of nights ago. Two innings of work. He had a run. It was unearned, and he recorded 5 strikeouts. 6 outs that he got. It was good, lively fastball up in the zone, 95, 96, and a sharp breaking pitch.
Right now, he wants to keep the Cubs within 1 after Bayo's long home run in the top of the inning. The Reds did make the double switch when they brought in Antone. So put Farmer in the number 9 spot in the order. The pitcher now batting 6th. Lower third of the order, Senzel, Barnhart, and Farmer.
I'll tell you what, fans have been entertained in Cincinnati this weekend with this series. There's been a lot of drama today. The long ball benches clearing situation yesterday. We had a safety squeeze. We've had an attempted steal of home today.
Nick Senzel fouls away the first pitch from Steele. Well, you're going to see a lot of games like this in this ballpark in the summertime. And I know we're still in the spring, but it's a nice warm day. The ball is carrying just fine. Senzel today with a pair of walks and a fielder's choice bounce out. Reds have had 3 multi-run innings. They got 2 in the first, 4 in the third when they hit 3 home runs, and then 3 in the 6th. Steele hit 96 on the radar gun with that pitch.
Good riding action on that elevated fastball. Hard to square up.
Foul at the plate. Senzel just did stay alive.
It's kind of a classic power pitcher's mix. That high fastball, then the sharp downer breaking pitch.
Final game of the series. Each of the first 2 games ended with the potential go-ahead run on base. Good pitch in on his hands. A charging Duffy gloves it, running. Nope, he didn't get a handle on it, and that's going to be a base hit for Nick Senzel. In the transfer from glove to bare hand, Duffy did not get the grip the way he wanted it and ended up not throwing.
That was an infield hit that started the inning for the Reds last time. It's safe play brought to you by Life or Death Illinois. It really is a matter of life or death. Learn more at lifeordeathillinois.com. Yeah, stumble out of the box by Senzel. Duffy not able to get the handle. Better to eat it and as opposed to launching one into the seats.
Tucker Barnhart batting. Barnhart struck out, reached on an error, and had an infield single, and that's the one that started the 3-run rally back in the 6th. Both starters will have a no decision today. Trevor Williams for the Cubs, Tyler Mahle for the Reds. Just outside of Barnhart, 1-1. I'll make it 2-1.
Little dust up yesterday with the benches clearing. That can always be a little bit of an educational moment for a young player. You first get to the big leagues, it's Happyville, man. You're just happy to be there. Everything is, even if the team's losing, you're in a good spot, man. You're hearing from all your friends and your family, hey, you're a big leaguer now. It's great, man. And the bench is empty. You get into the middle of something like that. It's a little reminder that this is serious business.
High fly ball deep right. Trouble. Back is Hayward, and that ball is going to leave the yard. 2-run homer for Tucker Barnhart, and the Reds lead 11-8.
This has just been an unbelievable show by the hitters on both sides here today. Left on left. Barnhart used to be a switch hitter, and now he's exclusively from the left side, and there's pretty good evidence. Maybe he should have made the shift a while ago. Good looking swing at that 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Steele.
Ball has always carried well to right and right center in this park. Barnhart's 3rd home run of the year. And the Reds now lead 11-8. Each team with 4 home runs today. Warner scoops it up. Takes care of Farmer batting for the first time. This date in Cubs history: Fred Toney of the Reds and Jim Hippo Vaughn of the Chicago Cubs, 1917, on this date, May 2nd, pitched a double no-hitter for 9 innings. It's the only double 9-inning no-no in baseball history. The Reds would win the game with 2 hits and a run in the 10th inning. The only run was driven in by the legendary Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe, an Olympian, played in the NFL, and played Major League Baseball. Not many guys can make the claim for those 3.
Resume, yep.
Jesse Winker will take a strike.
Kind of ironic that on the anniversary of the double no-hitter game, we've got the 8 home run 11-8 game in the 7th inning.
It's the exact opposite.
That game was watched by 3,500 people. Took an hour and 50 minutes to complete.
And it went 10 innings.
Yeah.
Right?
Hippo was a 6'4", 215, and back in the day, that earned you Hippo. Now that earns you. You're the 7th tallest guy on the pitching staff. What would they call Brad Wick and Trevor McGill?
Jesse Winker at the plate. Of course, both men pitched complete games, even though it went 10 innings. That's just the way it was back in the day. It says the first hit of the game was by one Larry Kopf, K-O-P-F. Then there was an error. Then the infield RBI single by Jim Thorpe. Steele gets the strikeout as Winker is out.
Home run swing by Winker, but he comes up empty. Literally brought to his knees. Maybe a little bit of that back fighting him. That back issue kept him out of the lineup yesterday.
This is the first time in the big leagues this season in which both teams have hit 4 home runs. Nicholas Castellanos drives one to deep right field. That's going to leave the yard. Castellanos' second home run of the day, a line smash to right. And he's got his 9th home run of the year and his 4th hit of the day.
Well, the rumor is that Major League Baseball has taken a little of the jump out of the baseball this year. You wouldn't know it if watching today's ball game. The ball is really flying. Really flexing, and a hitter's day for sure. That's fastball center cut, though. You're asking for trouble in there against Castellanos. He likes to swing early. He likes the fastball. He likes to hit the ball in that direction.
He's driven in 3. He has scored 4 runs. He's up to 19 RBIs. He was hitting 300. He'll be up around 350 after this one. So it's 12-8 Cincinnati. They've scored 3 more in the inning. Their 4th different multiple run inning of the day. Votto bounces one to Horner from shallow right. He throws out Votto, but another big inning for the Reds against the Cubs staff. We go to the 8th inning. Cubs are down by 4. Good old-fashioned slugfest at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati with former big league pitcher Jim Deshaies as it's Pat Hughes. Let's see if the Cubs can fight back one more time. Matt Duffy against TJ Antone, takes low and away.
Feels more like a Saturday night kind of game than a Sunday afternoon kind of. Sunday's supposed to be lazy, easy. Should be a 3-1 game. This is a Saturday. This is a brawling Saturday night kind of game.
And the Cubs hope it gets even a little more rambunctious here before it's all said and done. Hayward on deck, and then Horner.
I mean, that's the thing, right? It feels like anything's possible on a day like today, so just keep having good at-bats.
Antone got the final out in the 7th inning. Duffy will look at a strike. Now it's 3-1.
Well, here's how wild this game has been. Second game in the last 15 years that the Cubs have hit and allowed at least 4 home runs. 2012 against the Padres, the last time it happened. He's got a real good idea of the strike zone. He thought this ball was outside. I tend to agree with him. Doubled into the right field corner last time.
Right now he just wants to get on, either a hit or a walk. Either one is fine.
Good pass at that one. Breaking ball in the zone from Antone here. It's again it's a 4-run lead, and we talk so much about there's no such thing as a fastball count anymore. So 3-2. He feels better about throwing that little cut breaking ball than the challenge fastball to a guy who's not a home run hitter, and then he tries to paint the outside corner
and misses, and the Cubs have a man on. They trail by 4, so they need some base runners. Here's Jason Hayward.
I guess you could understand a pitcher being a little defensive today with all the runs going up on the board, but I'm sure David Bell would have, If he could have sent a message out to Antone there before that pitch, like, hey, go ahead and be aggressive here. You don't have to try to pick a corner and risk the walk.
Hayward without a hit, 2 ground outs and a fly out to left.
Yeah, last time up there, a productive out, a ground ball to the right side to move Duffy to third base after his leadoff double.
Final game of the road trip here as Hayward has a count of 0-2.
Really spin that curveball. Good tight breaking pitch. Also has a slider, and we've seen 97 on the fastball. Doesn't really use a straight change very much. Not out of the bullpen.
Big bouncer left side. Moustakas to second, 1. Hayward safe at first.
Good break out of the box here by Hayward. Looked like it would be a double play ball. Suarez didn't get a whole lot on that throw. Safe.
One out, 1 on, 8th inning. Cubs trail by 4. Nico Horner with another productive day, a single and a run-scoring double. He drives one toward right field. Back is Castellanos to make the catch. And that's out number 2.
More solid contact from Horner. Castellanos got a bad break on that ball. For a moment, like it might get over his head.
It's up to Tony Walters in this 8th inning to keep the inning alive. Cubs began the road trip by losing 3 out of 4 in Atlanta. They're trying to avoid losing 2 out of 3 here in Cincinnati. You get to the final game of the trip, a 3-4 record sounds so much better than 2-5. It's only 1 more win. Low and inside, it's 2-0 on Walters.
The Dodgers, who come to town tomorrow, had been struggling to score, but they've unloaded on the Brewers today. It's 14-1 up in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee will be on the road for the next week. I think I saw the schedule has them going to Philadelphia and Miami. Cubs will be home all week, hosting the Dodgers and the Pirates. Three and 1 on Tony Walters. He would gladly take a walk right now. Jake Marisnick in the on-deck circle if the inning gets that far. 2 down, a man at first. Walters almost got nailed by the pitch, so Antone is a little bit wild in the inning. You just wouldn't expect 2 walks in a game in which your team is leading by 4 runs in the 8th inning.
Yeah, we talked about the stress that David Bell's had to deal with his bullpen struggles, and David Ross too, for that matter. He's seen too many walks out of his bullpen guys, and it's not just walks, it's when they happen that'll drive a manager nuts. I mean, it's one thing in a key situation with a base open if you're pitching around somebody, but 4-run lead in the 8th, a couple of walks to set up a potential big inning.
If Marisnick can get on, Ian Happ would be the tying run. We're in the 8th inning.
We'll leave only Wilson Contreras on the Cubs bench. Sogard and Bodie have already been used, and now Marisnik.
In the air, shallow right, falling in there for a base hit. This will drive in a run and send Walters to third. Marisnik wasn't sure where the ball was. He made contact and just stood there for a brief second. It fell into shallow right, an RBI single. It is now 12-9.
You talk about a thing of beauty. That's a shanked lob wedge right there. Just a little floater, but it gets the job done.
Now a long ball could get the Cubs even. We're in the 8th inning with 2 down.
It's the kind of day where you almost expect it.
Happ with a single and a double. I think I mentioned earlier in the series, he's hit 10 home runs in this park. And it is really carrying today. The Red bullpen, as you can see, Heath Hembree getting loose, but one of the walks has come back to haunt TJ Antone. Marisnik with the RBI, first and third. Now, if Happ gets on, the plot would really thicken with Chris Bryant on deck. Bryant already with 2 home runs and a double today.
And this is Happ's better side, and he swung it well today. I'm David Bell. I'm watching this at bat with one eye closed. Most managers would prefer to turn Ian around to the right side in this situation.
The 1-0. Backdoor curve. Good pitch. 1-1.
He's used Doolittle from the left side. The other lefty is Amir Garrett. And he's going to want him for the 9th, assuming.
Happ with a double and a single today. Came up empty. Another good sharp breaking ball. Now it's 1-2. TJ Antone, the 1-2. A swing and a drive deep right field. This is going to tie the game. A 3-run homer by Ian Happ. It's 12-12.
Told you kind of expect it the way this day is going. It's just an unbelievable ball game. It's like next basket wins.
Hanging breaking ball. Long home run for Happ. His 3rd hit of the day, his 2nd homer of the year. It's a dozen to a dozen.
A dirty dozen aside, and Ian Happ unloads. And what a day he has had, and how good does this feel for a guy who has struggled much of the season here. First month plus, it has not gone well for Ian Happ. And he's up to his old tricks in Cincinnati.
Here is Chris Bryant. Great to see the smiles
of unbelievable.
Ian's teammates, Marisnik and Walters. Big grins ear to ear. Rizzo gives Ian a bear hug in the dugout. A 3-hit game for Ian Happ. Boy, did he need that. He crushed that pitch. Bryant with a couple of homers to left and a double. Chris takes in the dirt. Antone walking 2 in the inning.
Yeah, O'Malley to high fastball. No doubter. Let's try a little cutter. No, that didn't work either.
Now a ball and 2 strikes. Bryant pokes this one foul out of play. 5 home runs for the Cubs in this game. 2 by Bryant. 1 each by Rizzo, Baez, and Happ. 8 of the 12 runs scoring on the homers. Bryant is out on strikes. But the Cubs score 4, all with 2 outs in the inning. It's a tie game as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning.
At Great American Ballpark, the pitching hasn't been great for either team, but the sticks, they are alive and well. And we're going to break down the entire day with Ryan Sweeney and Gary Matthews Sr., a.k.a. Sarge, plus all the post-game reaction that you want to see. That's coming your way in just a little bit on Cubs Post-Game Live, guys.
All right, Cole, thank you. 10 home runs in this ball game, and we're only in the 8th inning. Each team with 5. First time in a Cubs game from 1979 in which the Cubs and their opponents each had as many as 5 home runs in the same game.
Well, that had to be that wild Philly game, right?
23-22. Mike Moustakas leading off against Dan Winkler, fouls it away.
I mean, these hitters are just standing in there, letting it fly like they're on the driving range. If Dan can post a 0 here. Could have been. Should have been. Throw a lot of cutters. Likes to throw it up. Try to jam the left-handed hitters.
Winkler part of the bullpen effort yesterday of 5 shutout innings. Fastball is just inside. Ian Happ with a game-tying 3-run homer in the top of this 8th inning. Suarez on deck, and then probably a pinch batter. Count is even to Moustakas. Moustakas homered and also was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. So he's picked up a couple of RBIs today. And he's got 8 for the year. There's a base hit into the gap. Happ slides, knocks it down. Moustakas going for 2, dives in safely at second base.
Wheels on the bus go round and round. Here come the Reds. I think when you go back and you look at the video, you're going to see a whole lot of that. Just a whole lot of pitches in the heart of the strike zone today. Have to give the hitters on both sides credit for taking advantage. This reminds me of like back before they regulated the bats in college baseball. You see those College World Series games where neither team could stop the other team from scoring.
The aluminum bats?
Yeah, they changed it a few years back. They put some restrictions on the
Suarez
materials.
with 3 hits today. He's driven in 3. Go ahead run at second. Nobody out, 8th inning. Winkler really needs a strikeout right now. He's ahead of Suarez 0-2.
Well, he's a guy who has struck out close to 40% of his plate appearances. Not struck out here today.
And the 0-2. Looking to the Cubs' 9th inning, they will have Javier Baez, Anthony Rizzo, and Matt Duffy due up.
You know, I think Javi, he's telling Dan, hey, man, you need to take a shot out of the strike zone here. 95 is great, but that was right to the heart of the zone. Maybe we can get him to chase something. He has a real good feel out there from his position, reading swings. He knows the hitters in the league. He's not afraid to go in there and share his opinion.
Moustakas takes a short lead at second base. He's the go-ahead run. Bottom of the 8th inning. Nobody out. The pitch. Strikeout number 1 for Winkler today. A big one. So Suarez fails to advance the runner.
Continued to go big even with 2 strikes. Taking that big home run swing.
Tyler Stevenson, one of the Reds' catchers, will pinch hit. And he's hit well, as you can see.
Yeah, he's one of the top prospects in the game. They really like this kid. Did the little kiss the finger thing, little J.D. Martinez kind of pre-pitch approach. See if he does it every pitch. Here he goes. Yeah, a little pinky to the lips, then to the shoulder. No idea what it means.
Tie game, bottom of the 8th inning. A man at second. Winkler now behind 2-0 to Stevenson. Heath Hembry continues to throw in the Reds bullpen. The Cub pen is quiet. The 2-0 lifted to shallow center. Happ coming in. Going out is Horner. Horner makes the catch. Happ is hurt. And the throw goes to third. Time is called. Happ is hurt. A collision between the center fielder and the second baseman. Hate to see that. Happ is laying down. Rizzo is out to take a look at him. P.J. Mainville, the Cubs trainer. David Ross on the hustle, out to see about Ian Happ. He's conscious. He's not.
Horner's down as well. Just one of those tweener balls where neither guy can yield. Both guys kind of have an equal shot at the play, and just gutsy play, selling out. Both guys going after it.
Very frightening moment. Both men running at full speed. Their eyes were on the ball, not on each other. And the second baseman Horner collided with Ian Happ in center field. Happ is doing a little flexing. He's on his right knee. Happ now gets up.
Yeah, I think I saw a little bloody nose.
There are 2 outs in the inning. Game tied at 12 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Horner now walking around. He wants to stay in the game. Happ gets up.
Ian goes low. Nico stays high.
Horner made a fantastic catch.
Spectacular catch, and just a great effort by both guys. And the concentration is unbelievable, and the ability to hang on after the contact. But the knee of Nico got into the midsection of Ian, and maybe the hand to the face.
Happ is trying to get up.
Oh, no.
And now Happ sits back down. He's just not quite ready to stand up just yet. Unbelievable catch by Nico Horner. And the presence of mind and the competitive nature to get up and throw the ball to third to make sure the runner wouldn't advance. Happ is going to be put on a stretcher or just on the back of the golf cart.
Yeah, I think he's you know, they're not looking at knees or ankles or anything like that. You know, it's just kind of woozy from the contact. Wilson Contreras is the only player left on the only position player left on the Cubs bench.
Happ had just tied the game with a dramatic 3-run homer in the top of the inning. Had one of his best days of the year with 3 hits. He scored 3 runs. But a collision will force him out of the game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 12-12 tie.
Looks like Horner's going to go in and get a different glove. Walters maybe take off the gear, and Wilson come in to catch.
Maybe Horner go out in center.
Yeah, and Walters on the infield.
Walters plays second base. Is that a guess? Well, we've seen that many, many times, Jim. I know you did as a player and now as a broadcaster. We are just working off monitors today, but when you're in the park seeing it, it's almost a helpless feeling for us as broadcasters. You see these players running at full speed, and you wish you could do something to say, look out.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, because you know the depth of the ball. They know where their teammates are playing, so they know it's imminent. And just to have the concentration and frankly the courage to go ahead and make the play, knowing that there's a pretty good chance there's going to be some pretty serious contact, is really impressive.
So Horner now has an outfielder's glove. And the Cubs are out of position players now that Wilson Contreras comes in to catch. Moustakas is still the runner at second base. He did not move up on that great catch by Horner in shallow center. Horner limping a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like Nico's going to go play right, and they'll put Jason Hayward in center. And Walters will come in and either play second or third. He's done both. Tony's actually played some shortstop too.
And Contreras will handle the catching chores in the bottom of this 8th inning. A wild ball game, 12-12. Each team with 5 home runs. And it will be Walters, the catcher, to play second base. The Reds bench has to be getting pretty thin also.
Yeah, I think that just India. Jonathan India, I think, is the only position player they have left.
They've used Blandino, Farmer, and Stevenson, who hit that pop-up a minute ago. 2 outs in the inning. As soon as we hear anything regarding Ian Happ, we'll pass it along to you. Nick Senzel due up. Warm and a little bit on the cloudy side here in Cincinnati. And we are ready for the resumption of play. Senzel 1 for 2 plus a pair of walks. Winkler to Senzel. And that's going to be a strike, 0-1. So you simply put Contreras in the leadoff spot in the order. Senzel takes outside. Chris Bryant now is playing center field, by the way.
Okay, so that was Nico in left we saw. KB in center.
Now it's 1-2.
There you go.
So here we go. Yeah.
Walters now at second.
Two down, the 1-2 pitch to Senzel. Hit off the end of the bat.
It's like one of those pickup games when you were a kid and somebody had to go home for dinner. Well, okay, I'll play center then.
First one to 15 wins.
Yeah. We're playing until dark.
One-two pitch strikes him out swinging. Winkler gets a big strikeout, and the Reds don't score. It's a tie game as we go to inning number 9.
Numbers going up on the board today. 12-12 as we head to the 9th. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. We'll take a look at the 10 home runs in this ball game today. 5 aside. The Reds and the Blues. Looks like home run derby. Incredible. What a performance by the hitters here this afternoon. If we need a tiebreaker, the Cubs have bested the Reds in exit velocity on those home runs by a mile per hour. So Heath Hembry, the new pitcher for the Reds, our Budweiser pitching change. Shows you a guy with just 4 2/3 innings under his belt this year and an ERA of 0.
Javier Baez first up. You wonder about a guy who's been watching the entire game, now finds himself on the mound in a ball game like this. It's got to be a little bit of a different feeling than a normal 2-1 game.
Be tempted to take the phone off the hook.
Hembry inside on the hands of Baez, who fouls it away. Baez with a 2-run homer his last time up.
You up? No, man, I'm sleeping.
Craig Kimbrell throwing for the Cubs, along with Andrew Chafin in their bullpen. Amir Garrett gets up for the Reds. Baez hits a pop fly shallow right, actually on the infield. It'll be caught by Farmer.
Power Chicago? We do. We consistently help create better construction, better careers, better communities. Powering Chicago, IBEW Local 134, NECA, Chicago.
Interesting, you got Rizzo, a left-handed batter up there. You got Amir Garrett throwing in the bullpen, but David Bell is going to stay with a right-hander to face Anthony. Rizzo with a home run today. A solo back in the 3rd. He pops this one up, playable on the infield. The third baseman Moustakas in foul ground makes the catch. And 2 pop outs and 2 down in the top of this 9th inning. Tie game. It's up to Matt Duffy. Duffy with a double and a walk. He has scored a pair. This would be an ideal time for his first Cubs home run.
In keeping with the spirit of the day, why not?
The Reds are going to have the 8-9-1 hitters due up in their half of the 9th.
Andrew Chafin is up in the Cubs bullpen.
0-2 on Duffy. Duffy trying to keep the inning alive in this 12-12 tie. Hembree has only made 6 pitches in the inning. Baez popped out to second. Rizzo popped out to third. And the 1-2. Duffy drove it foul off to the right out of play. Each team with 5 home runs. The Reds right-hander fires 1-2.
Hembree, a veteran, over 5 years of Major League service time, mostly with the Red Sox. He was with them in 2014. And through parts of last year, then was traded to Philly.
Duffy fouls it back. The bat went flying out of his hands, ended up over near the Cubs dugout, in the dugout actually. Stay loose.
Time to add a little stickum. That screen there now, obviously, in all the ballparks to protect the fans, but it does create a little bit of a perilous situation for the players. He can really throw the head of that bat.
Full count on Duffy. Jason Hayward on deck. Again, the left-hander Garrett presumably would come in to face Hayward. He thought he might face Rizzo earlier in the inning.
Yeah, I think it's just a question of David Bell, how he wants to use his resources in a tie game. I think if they had a lead, we maybe would have seen Garrett already. But he has really struggled this year. David Bell has said, you know, he hasn't named a closer. He said he's going to use multiple guys to protect leads late, depending on the game situation, and that's who he has confidence in at the time.
Kimbrel hoping to get another save chance today. He's ready in the bullpen. He knows exactly how much to warm up and then to kind of back off and just stay loose. Leisurely play catch. That's what he's doing. Duffy drives one to right, but it will not carry, and Castellanos makes the grab. Tie game. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. 12 apiece.
Of the 9th, fireworks provided by the hitters here today, but there's been plenty of fireworks between these two clubs over the years. Otherwise, we flash back to 2014. Our oldest Chapman got into it with Anthony Rizzo and the Cubs, and then they made peace a couple years later and won a World Series together. Matt Latos was kind of involved in that skirmish too. Big Riz taking on the whole dugout. Amir Garrett and Javi Baez, they had their moment in 2019. And that kind of leading to yesterday, and Garrett with a demonstrative celebration after the strikeout of Rizzo. That got everybody's attention, including his old buddy Javi Baez, who said, let's go, pal. And a lot of yelling and screaming. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed. And now the Sheriff on for the 14th time. It's our Budweiser pitching change. 12 innings and a .375 for Andrew Chafin.
First pitch to Tucker Barnhart is fouled at the plate. Chafin trying to get this into the 10th inning. Barnhart drilled a 2-run homer his last time. He's also reached on a single and an error.
Inning in a third scoreless for Andrew yesterday. Just 10 pitches to get those 4 outs.
Good curveball there. It's 0-2. The strike 2 pitch by Chafin. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball down in the dust, and that's out number 1.
First 2 nights of this series, the bullpen just absolutely lights out. It's been a little bumpy here today. Mills and Steele both got touched up for 3 runs. Maples an inning and a third scoreless. Thompson made his big league debut. Keegan Thompson, scoreless inning, pitched around a couple of hits and a walk. Winkler leadoff double last inning, but was able to shut the Reds down.
Kyle Farmer batting for the second time today. Grounded out. He's 0 for 1. Farmer, one of the most versatile players in baseball today. He can perform as a catcher or a shortstop or a second baseman. How's that for a combo?
Pretty rare.
Takes down low, and the count now 2-1. Baez will make the play, and that's out number 2. Tie game, bottom of the 9th inning, 12 apiece. Jesse Winker coming up for Cincinnati. Winker, a guy with power. Even guys without power would be thinking about trying to hit one out of the park in a spot like this. 2 outs, nobody on. Winker has reached 3 times, a walk, a single, and a hit by pitch. Now it's 2-0 with Castellanos on deck. He's having a big day. 4 for 5 with 2 home runs. The 2-0 from the Cub left-hander Chafin.
Castellanos on deck, left on left. You would have liked to see Chafin be a little bit more aggressive here, but you can understand him being cautious, trying to pitch away from the power of Winker.
The 3-0 to Winker. Just barely in the zone at the knees. 3-1.
And a kind of break there. A little bit low.
Strike 2 call.
Oh my.
Same spot, JD.
Yeah. That's a little easier when you can throw it down there and get a called strike.
Still 3-2 on Winker.
It's interesting. You kind of tell Winker's mindset. He wasn't really complaining about those strike calls. I don't really want to walk. I'd rather swing it. I'd rather be a hero than take a walk.
The payoff pitch coming up one more time. Here it is. Lifted to left. Deep back on the track is Hoerner to make the play to end the inning. Boy, on any fly ball today, you just got to hold your breath. We go to the 10th inning. Gigantic days, namely Chris Bryant of the Cubs and Nicholas Castellanos of Cincinnati. Each team with 5 home runs. Second time that's ever happened in a Cubs-Reds game. Ian Happ left the game after the collision with Nico Hoerner back in the 8th inning. Here is that play again. Nico Hoerner, the second baseman. Watch the catch he makes. And a frightening collision. No report yet on Ian Happ. He did leave the game on a golf cart type vehicle. Had some blood around the face, the nose area. But no report yet. Amir Garrett on the mound for Cincinnati as we go to the 10th inning. Matt Duffy is the runner at second base. You know the way it works. You get a guy at second to begin every half inning. And let's see if the Cubs can take the lead. On a game like this, you might need to get about 3 or 4 before you felt confident. Hayward nothing for 4. Garrett's pitch. And that's a strike. 0-1.
Against the lefty Sean Doolittle back in the 6th, Jason able to pull the ball on the ground to the right side to advance the base runner. He would settle for that here. He'd love to get a little more. And Garrett has really struggled in the early going. 11.25 ERA, and he's allowed 4 home runs in 8 innings of work.
Hayward hits a ground ball foul past Votto at first. Now it's 0-2. You could tell Jason was trying to hook that ball and advance the runner. Hoerner is on deck. In a game in which there have been 29 hits, Jason is without a knock. The 0-2 from Garrett. Hayward is out on strikes, 1 down.
Garrett, a big guy, gives a tough look for a left-handed hitter with those angles. Slider at 87. Well, off the outside corner, gets the chase from Jason.
So 1 away. Matt Duffy still at second. And the batter is Nico Hoerner. And Hoerner is going to be walked intentionally. This will put men at first and second with 1 away for Tony Walters. Walters with a double and a walk. Pitcher spot is due next.
Right, and the Cubs are out of position players. And there's Big Jake.
Lefty to lefty, Tony Walters at the plate. He'll take a strike. Extraordinary game, tied at 12 in the top of the 10th inning. Duffy at second, Hoerner at first. 1 down. Bluff throw by Barnhart, and running and taking a double steal Again, we were working off a television monitor. We did not realize the Cubs with a double steal and have men at second and third now with only one away.
Garrett not paying any attention at all to the base runners out there. And with the pitcher on deck, David Ross says, let's be aggressive here.
Double steal. Let's see if the Cubs can cash in. The 1-1, low and outside to Walters.
Infield in for the Reds, so base hit gets you 2.
Horner with very good speed at second base. Duffy leading in foul territory at third. Lefty to lefty the pitch. Swing and a miss by Walters. Here at a sharp breaking ball, 2-2. Walters trying to put it in play and drive in the go-ahead run. The 2-2. Strike 3 swinging, and that's out number 2. Second strikeout in the inning for Garrett. And it's up to Jake Arrieta, a pinch hitter, to try to get the job done. David Bell wants to bring in a right-hander to face Arrieta.
Wow, how about that?
Pitching change coming up. We'll be back. Game still tied at 12, inning number 10.
Reds in extra innings. It was July of 2019, and Kyle Schwarber with a walk-off home run at Wrigley Field into the basket. Hey, let's jump up and down. Some old friends there in the scrum enjoying that one.
Kyle just had a walk-off for his new team, the Washington Nationals, earlier this week in a game in our nation's capital. Ryan Hendricks is the new pitcher. Second and third, 2 down. Jake Arrieta pinch hitting for the Chicago Cubs here in the 10th inning. 12-12 tie. Curveball strike. Arrieta and Hendricks become the 37th and 38th players to play in this game today.
Yeah, interesting that David Bell would go to the bullpen with a pitcher in the batter's box. A pitcher with very limited experience, but obviously felt like Jake had a better chance competing against a lefty.
Matt Duffy the go-ahead run at third. Nico Horner the insurance run at second. Let's see if Jake can put it in play. The 1-1. 3 straight breaking balls. It is now 2-1. Wilson Contreras would be next if the inning gets that far.
Right, and that's the potential downside for Bell. With each ball, Hendricks could get a little tighter out there. This is a huge pitch right here.
It is a called strike. It looked like he got a gift.
Barnhart cradling that one and buying the call for his pitcher. Looked like it was a little off the plate.
The 2-2 from Ryan Hendricks. Arrieta swings and misses, and the side is retired. The Cubs do not score as we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Game tied at 12. We'll be right back. The Cubs do not score in the top of the 10th inning, so the Reds have a man at second base, and that'll be Jesse Winker. Nicholas Castellanos.
Kimbrough recorded the save in the ball game yesterday after allowing back-to-back hits to start the inning. He got out of the mess, and he is player number 39 playing this one.
That was one of the best saves you'll ever see. So Winker at second base. Nick Castellanos to lead it off. He's having a huge day. 4 for 5. 2 home runs. He's driven in 3.
Kimbrel, the 8th different Cub to pitch here this afternoon.
Winker with above average, in fact good running speed out at second base. And Kimbrel from the stretch ready to go to work on Nicholas Castellanos. Kimbrel's first pitch. Neither team has scored since a 3-run homer by Ian Happ in the 8th inning. He had left the game after colliding with Nico Horner, each man chasing a pop fly into shallow center in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-0 from Kimbrel to Castellanos. It's low and outside.
Again, generally, when you think of Castellanos, you think of a guy who likes to swing the bat. So even though you're in a hitter's count here, still might get him to chase something off the edge.
Tony Walters still playing second base. Castellanos drives it foul. Walters over near the bag, trying to keep Winker somewhat close to the bag. Game tied at 12 in the bottom of the 10th inning. Nobody out and a man at second. Joey Votto is on deck. Two balls and a strike on Castellanos. The next offering. And it gets away from Wilson Contreras. And that is going to be a pass ball. He got crossed up on the pitch.
Yeah, and they just communicated prior to the pitch. You saw Kimbrel go to the card to check to see what sequence of signs they were using. And clearly, they were not on the same page. Contreras anticipating a breaking ball. Kimbrel threw him the heater.
So now the Reds with a potential winning run 90 feet away. Nobody out, bottom of the 10th inning. It's a passed ball charged against Wilson Contreras.
See what Rossi's doing. He's going to go to a 5-man infield here.
Pitch was pretty close to the strike zone. I guess
probably would have been a strike. Yeah,
I think they called it a ball. I think Livensparger, the home plate umpire, called it ball 3. So a 5th infielder comes in. Nico Horner is now on the infield between Baez and the second base bag. So 3 infielders on the left, 2 on the right. The 3-1 to Castellanos. Swing and a base hit to center, and the ball game is over. Nicholas Castellanos with his 5th hit of the day. A soft single to center, driving in the winning run. And the Reds beat the Cubs 13-12, and they take the series 2-1.
And just a tough way for this ball game to end after all the long balls, all the thump that we saw here today. Just a soft little single from Castellanos proves to be the game winner, and the fans that don't like the extra inning rule with the man on second, that really hurts. Obviously the Cubs had their chance in the top half, weren't able to cash in. That's a tough one to swallow.
JD, we'll see you down the road.
All right, Patrick. Good job today, my friend.
For Jim DeShane.